Oh, that's right. Hi. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to TCH live stream, our Monday game, our $2,000 cap, but it's not capped, it's matched.
Yeah, naturally.
So it's really uncapped.
Starting stack.
Starting stack at 2K. My name is Dante at Dante Poker. I am joining. Go ahead.
Uncle T here, America's favorite uncle.
Yep. And once again, we're doing the show together. It's been a little bit since I've done it, so feeling a lot better
Welcome
these
back.
days. And yeah, I'm ready to get this game going. It looks like a great lineup. You could just see the felt as them. We have J-Win, we have TM, although I think he's going by Terry. We have Terry, we have JR's in the house. We have Optimize. I saw Doug. We have Kevin as well. Our favorite masked player.
Just James. Yeah, the masked bandit.
Just James, isn't it?
Yep. Just James in C2.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
All the common
that's everybody,
criminals,
right?
All the usual suspects. Starting off with the bomb pot, as we always do. 555.
And what a difference from a $5 bomb pot versus a $10. You don't think it would be a big difference?
Huge.
What they're both intended to get stacks in, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
All right, and we're off here. I always try to look for the nuts right off the board. That doesn't really matter. I always feel like drawing hands are way better than top sets.
Yeah. I mean, you want spades here. I'm looking at spades and 5-7 maybe.
Yeah, maybe or 6-7 with some spades in there.
Yep, set of tens, whatever.
You're still only chopping if you hit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
worst feeling in a bomb pot is I flop the nut straight.
Yeah, you check. Everybody
check. Well, in a 1-2 game, they don't. They just jammy. So pot.
Yeah, that's the difference. 1-2 game, you're not getting anybody off any draws.
No,
they're going to get so. It really does you no good. I mean, I guess you're paying for them to see another card, but that only works in holding.
Yeah, and one bet exactly. And one bet, this is the difference. And one bet here because he did have the Jack 10 of spades and he had a pair or two, and Bertram takes it down and it's over in its appropriately short time. We're not here for the bomb pots.
No, I don't. I did see us do a bomb pot tournament or a bomb pot table.
Yeah,
live stream a month ago or so.
Yeah. Well, we had our PLO Thursday before.
Yeah,
last,
I saw that.
I guess that was fun. Other than the fact that Uncle T was card dead forever, which is hard to do in PLO.
Yeah, usually you don't hear those words.
I played a really good Badoogie game that night.
For those who don't know who Badoogie is, it's you basically just play the worst cards.
Yeah,
you want the worst cards,
and you don't want any common suits. So yeah, you want rainbow low. And Bertram's got the aces, which is not rainbow.
And he's on the straddle, if I'm not mistaken, right? And he only bought it for 500. We've seen him do this time in and time again. Buys it for short. And I don't mind that strategy when you go into a bomb pot.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, so
minimize the damage.
Makes those decisions a lot easier and less painful. But anyway, he's got aces, and JR is going to look him up. 6-3.
Not exactly the.
So you're talking about just smashing it, right?
Yeah, a rainbow aces.
JR is going to rep that ace. Of course, we're just going to see Bertrand call.
After the appropriate, the thinker with his hand on his chin. Still rainbow. Yeah, he's pretty much going to be in check mode.
That's the worst feeling in the world, right?
Yeah.
JR has given up, and that's sort of connecting.
I mean 10. 10 queen could be. Ace queen is more likely, but that's nothing. It's like. I doubt very seriously if Bertram puts him on 6-3.
No, he's just going to bet like 75 to 100. Yeah. Try to get something, knowing he's not getting anything. After that check down on the turn.
He goes for 175. Goes for pot size bet and snappy fold.
His only hope there was to bet really small and hope that JR would come over the top. Yeah. But when you bet large like that, you're hoping he has ace 10.
Yeah, you want to appear a little bluffy, make it a pot size bet, hoping that two pairs out there. Maybe King Jack was in play. Maybe somebody could add that.
You know, if I
Somebody
was
being JR.
Bertrand, I'd look over before I made that bet and say, how much would you call?
Does that work?
Yeah, how much would you call?
Well, we got one seat open, the 9 seat. That's it. Full table tonight. Anticipated. We had 9 confirmations and several on the waiting list, so hoping to get a player in there pretty soon. Doesn't mean you can't get in the Tesla and zip over here at the speed of light. That always helps. Well, clubs versus clubs right off the bat. I do like this hand optimizes playing. I played that a lot.
Yeah.
These low suited connectors. In case it's a low board, then it's like Christmas. And it's Christmas. Check.
Yeah,
Optimized
he's
to-
thinking he's got showdown
Yeah,
value, but he's got
he
2
does.
streets to go before he gets.
Yeah, I started to say.
Think about that.
And now, Jay Wynn's got a gutter. Checks it.
He's hoping to realize that. And Jay was maybe thinking his ace high is showdown value.
Yeah.
And the pot's pretty decent for the hands that they have.
Throws out 100. He's not going to fold. Oh, 200. Did I see that right? Yeah, 200 and 200 called. And that is hearts, which will probably kill the action. Unless Jay Wynn decides to make a move of this.
Yeah, you'd almost 100% think Hearts would have bet that if it was first to act, because that person they want to have him go check down. So when Jay Wynn checks there,
$500 is not going to get a call. Jay Wynn's going to think about it and say, you know what?
yeah, even if it is a good bluff,
It's all the wrong color on that board. Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Nope. He wills the cards to flip over. Yeah, wait 15 minutes, Jay Wynn. A good little pot there for optimized start off. It's always good to start off with a little bit of a win, even in a higher stakes game like this. Not the highest stakes, but $343 is not bad. Mel in the box tonight, along with Dante and I. We got Katie back here doing our producing tonight.
Terry's definitely going to play it. Oh,
Ooh, tight fold. Not too far out of position either.
Judge James is.
Maybe he knew that Just James would get that ace queen. We get suit versus suit again. Jay Wynn gives it up.
His last tournament was at Foxwood 15 years ago. 51. No, that wasn't that.
Kevin, not knowing that a lot of spades have run through already, might make a call here.
Yeah, he's in for 10 right now.
He's getting a 33% discount. Not much. Still not much. Probably first aggression is going to take this pot down.
I'd like to see a bet from James there.
Yeah, I do too. And with the position on a dry board.
And now Kevin's going to go ahead and outriver, if that's a word, his opponent. Because it went check all the way around. So
sure.
Ace high might want to call this. I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot easier than calling 500.
35.
Of course, I hit my dangler. We were talking, Carl and I were talking last week about, week before last, what things you don't like people to say at the table to you. You know, the one I really, it'll get me, it needles me somehow. Well, what'd you think I had? It's like,
yeah.
Well, what'd you think I had? Yeah, well, I thought you had less than what you had, obviously.
Around those points of like when people say, I put you on this.
Yeah. No, or I knew you had that.
No,
and that always cracks me.
No, you didn't.
Well, if you're clairvoyant, you'd be a better poker player. So
I always just say the same. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Cards off.
Regardless of whether they could have been dead on. I'm not going to, You thought I had queens? How silly. fold my queens. Oh, it's yeah. Okay, it is seat 1. Yep, 1 spot open. Get in the car. Let's go. Welcome to all the chatters, by the way. Hello, everybody. What up?
Yeah, Poker Monkey, David, thanks for hopping in. Chat Star Kiwi, that's new for me.
Mm-hmm.
It is quad fours today. Quad fours for 3,000.
What kind of behind are we talking about going crazy?
If you have pocket pair of fours in your hand and pocket pair on the board, you can win 3,000.
Yeah.
And then for
Crazy says it's equity plus behind equals opponent's hand. Yeah, exactly. All right, we've blazed through 6 hands so far, or this is hand 6. So, as Kyle always points out, we generally get about 25 hands an hour. Try to get to 100 for the evening.
2 fold, 3 fold. Jay, when it's on you. 4 fold.
No one's liking the queen so far.
5 raise 30, 6 fold.
Ooh, JR's laying down the
7 fold, 8 fold.
double gapper there.
King 10, the most overrated hand in all of poker.
I always
In my
thought that
opinion.
was King Jack, but
Really? I like it better than King 10, that's for sure.
Going heads up.
Deuces for Terry. Not a bad board for
let's
deuces.
give him the deuce,
yeah, Yeah.
huh? 'Cause
But it's a lot better for Bertram. But he's not going to get it, yeah.
20.
If he does, he's going to get paid.
9. Call.
So Terry decides to continue.
third club will slow it down
Yeah,
probably.
well,
Except
Bertram's
Bertrand's
on-
feeling
yeah.
much better now with a C-bet.
Yeah. Telling you that hat, it's just not good
Yeah.
luck.
He can go pretty big here. At least I would.
Looks like he made it
Yeah.
3/4 pot. With the combo draw.
So funny because Terry's still ahead, but I don't think he.
He doesn't feel ahead.
Yeah, well, no one's going to feel ahead.
Very much like the
Just
Eagles
don't
last year. You're
well,
ahead until you're not.
We're ahead until week 12.
Who am I to talk? Jeez. Like I said, we got Mel in the box tonight, who also works as our producer when she's not dealing. Best dealers in town here at TCH Austin.
Yes, they are.
The
Got a couple of new
All-Stars.
faces here too.
Yeah.
We are moving, so TCH is hiring. I don't know if you saw that. ad.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good point. We've probably at all levels, front of house.
I saw a bartender, so I don't know if we're having a. Does that mean we're having a bar?
At a bar or just
Or a food
randomly walking
server?
around
Yeah,
in the world?
Just a bartender.
How could you tell
We
they
don't
were a
sell
bartender?
liquor. We just have a bartender
Yeah.
on staff.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you know they were bartender?
I saw the ad on Instagram.
Oh, you saw an ad for a bartender.
Yeah, well, all the positions they were hiring for.
Yeah, front of house, dealers,
Supervisors.
yeah, the floors, there is going to be a bar and a restaurant, servers, cooks.
No straddle.
Unfortunately, all the commentator places are taken.
Yeah, we have four. Four?
Yeah, 5 really. Don't forget AA Ron.
Yeah, he's doing the big stuff.
Yeah, yeah, he did. He's like our one professional, I guess. We'll give him a little credit. He's an all-star.
Straddle 10. 5 fold, 6 fold.
Won a big tournament about a month ago.
I can't even win the little ones right now.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Although I did cash 3 out of 4, so I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. Got to win.
We played 7 tournaments this year. And
Played heads up for about an hour and a half.
Trying to catch up.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
I was just, it was a test of my patience. I wanted to set the trap. Eventually got a chance, but yeah.
No, 7 raises to 30. 8 fold. 9 fold. 2 fold.
Yep, didn't want to chop. Didn't even talk about it. Kind of one of those deals where new player, never gotten to the final 2 or 3, really wanted to see it through and call it a win. I've had 2 of those in the last 2 weeks. Younger player that did not want to chop because it's his first tournament ever, and he won it because I get impatient. So that a week later, I get to the final 2, play heads up. That player never probably had chopped, didn't know exactly how that worked or anything, so he wanted to play it out. At least because of the first experience, I was a lot more patient this time. So finally got him to have 2 pair when I hit Broadway. So.
Nice. All right, we have we have, oh, Jay was going to
7 check.
not be a believer. We're going to see a bet here from Kevin.
Yeah. Well, he bet the 4 before.
If it gets to him.
Jack 4 before, 5-4 this time, a little better hand. Spades are there.
They're
So
the back door, though. I don't
yeah,
think
they are
you
back
can,
door.
You know, Jalen's like, ugh, I have to bet if I'm going to win this hand.
Yeah, already fell in this.
So he's going to put in, he's like right around, oh, it goes over.
Gets a fold. Good bet. Yeah, Ron made a lodge final table last night.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
usually use the L word, you know.
Yeah,
Usually
but-
just the Walmart, as I call it. But yeah, he's had some good. Well, he's just a highly skilled player, so it's not too surprising. There's just so many bullets to dodge. So in those big tournaments, and that was a big tournament.
I haven't played a big tournament in years.
Yeah, I just don't have the time commitment available to me. Somebody asked me, why don't you play this? Why don't you play that? I'm like, I don't have multiple days to schedule that sort of thing. Not that I'd make multiple days anyway. As Kevin wakes up with the big slick, pretty.
9 fold.
See if anybody's got anything.
2 fold. 3 fold.
Jay Wynn's going to play that. I'm guessing, and he does.
Going to heads up. 4 calls.
Optimize making sure his fries are there. I still did. All right, backdoor royal flush there for Kevin. He's gonna bet it, and nothing appealing for Jay Wynn.
Did you say royal flush draw?
Yeah. I said
Wow.
backdoor.
You
royal
start
flush.
off this stream with really high expectations. I will say, though, about a week ago, Jesse, I think I told you about this. Jesse, God bless him, gave me the royal hold'em hand. And I had the queen, the ace completed the royal on the turn. The guy had been the aggressor the whole time. Bets into me, a jam, he calls. The very next hand, and he's steaming. Jesse gives me aces. And the first thought I had, this guy's so steamy right now. If I jam, he's going to call me. And he did. Unfortunately, a guy with queens after him also called, ran out 2 boards, came out clean.
Nice.
That was all Jesse. He got a really good tip because that was all him. Those
That was
hands
all
played
Jesse.
themselves. So I was like, it's so rare you get that sort of thing. Back-to-back hands.
5 fold.
Hearts versus hearts.
1 heads up.
Ooh, 2 pair right off the bat.
5 check.
Probably nothing that the 5-3 can call, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously we know that Doug's hoping he has just an ace in there, but
Yep.
I mean, Doug's betting it like he has an ace.
So Bertram comes over the top, 3x his bet, and he gets the really high Doug flip it all over the table fold.
Was he? What is? optimize a toddler? He's eating chicken nuggets?
It looks like it. He kind of is hanging over his food like a toddler. What is the sauce there? Has he got ranch or something?
Ranch or something.
Oh, there he is.
He's doing his chipmunk imitation.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Six fold, seven fold, eight fold,
Right after like a freeze.
9 fold. One regular.
What's better than King 10?
Queen 10?
Unless your opponent has your queen.
I know, something about making them suited just makes it all sexier.
It does.
I
It
don't
just
even look
looks
at Queen 10
prettier.
otherwise.
It looks prettier, you know.
Heads up.
It's a great hand in blackjack, you know. Wow.
Probably Garrett.
Got a gutter there for the Queen 10 and Just James.
Yep. And top pair.
Well, you know
for
you're going to see
optimize
Blake fire here.
Two fold.
as he masticates his hand.
He goes with the $15 bet. All right.
Turned it into a boat.
Two check. 3-bet 75.
Chicken nuggets bets 50. 75. Forgive me. So I guess we're gonna have a meal here, break out in the middle of our or a poker game break up out in the middle of our meal.
Yeah, I didn't have dinner yet.
I know it's
Those
making
guys-
me hungry watching all this chewing going on.
All right, we got live 10. Live 10.
I thought we were doing this. We were doing the straddle the whole time, weren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear it announced as mandatory, the straddle. Find out from Katie if it's mandatory, but they usually make it that way, and it's pretty faithfully
Two folds.
brought in.
3 raise 7.
Ace versus ace 9.
5 folds.
Bertram's probably going to stick around. He does not. Does not play the Asian aces. Interesting.
8 fold.
These are two players who played a lot of poker together.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it,
Heads up.
keep it clean here.
8 check.
It's not a flop for anybody.
Yeah, pretty unattached flop. Optimize is obviously still ahead.
TV's not on, so I can't tell.
It showed all red, but that's obviously not the case. Matter of fact, I think we're having a little card reader problem.
Spades.
And we are showing ace 5 on the board. That's being corrected, and there's not a king on the board.
Check, check.
Yeah, there's not a flop. Optimizes. Oh, the turn though.
Wow. Okay, so what we
Oh,
thought
okay,
was
no, maybe not.
what we thought was an exciting hand is just now Doug being ahead with aces. Very, very connected board. The hearts are there. Optimize puts out 60. A little bit of a feeler bet, you think? Just find out where he is.
Yeah. Doug's not calling unless he has it.
Yeah.
Now that with that 2 pair there, all that means it's another over for the 8.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all that means. He's got showdown. He's looking for Optimize to make a bet here. Optimize can't think his
Check.
hand's good. I mean,
Yeah.
the hearts missed,
He
but
just-
they were backdoor. So
He just told Doug he had 1 pair, so I assume it went check, check. But
2 pair aces. 9.
Doug shows the ace 9. Yeah, Doug is one of those players that pretty much if he's calling you all the way down, beware. He rarely bluffs.
hey, what's up, Phony Turgeson? Thanks
Hey,
for hopping in.
happy Father's Day to you too.
Live 10.
I got him last week.
Hope everybody had a good Father's Day. Good weather here in Austin. Don't know about where y'all are, but
Live 10.
Well, it's good humidity this past couple of days.
yeah.
2 fold.
We're in the 90s now.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain this week, though. We're supposed to get like 2 inches of rain, which rain in Texas and at least this part of Texas in
Raise 50.
June is a bonus. Very similar hand, ace 10 versus nines this time, although the ace 10 is suited. Yeah, Doug was ace 9 suited.
4 raises to 150.
Very similar.
Yes, 5
Overs.
7 4.
And an even better
Ooh.
ace is here for Doug.
8 raises to
And he
100.
puts it, is that 300?
400. It looks like.
400. Wow. That'll get everybody out of the way. Did not want to play his ace queen that bad, so he decides to just take it down. Maybe a little bit of a statement early, you think, to kind of say don't mess
Yeah,
with
it's kind
me.
of scary. You have a raise and a re-raise in front of you, and then you get ace queen suited. Against those two players, you're going to make a 4-bet, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Is it that yes? The yes player?
So if you get a call,
It's bad.
people
very
don't call
bad.
you unless they have ace queen beat.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
exactly. You
just-
probably you're
who's
going
going to call you with ace jack? Right?
Well, in a
Nobody.
situation like that where you get called when you've been real aggressive into two raisers, and they do call, are you thinking, you start thinking card removal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my first thought is, okay, what am I facing, queens or aces, which are both very bad.
And I'm sure he's a thinking player, so he's
Yeah,
probably
he
thinking
is.
about the plan. If everybody calls me and I miss on the flop, I'm like, what do I do? Do I see that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tough
Yeah.
thing. Right?
All the red lights go off as we play our next bomb pot hand.
All right, so rainbow or flops?
Yeah, KY with the set of aces in his hand. Not much fun. Although I'm always amazed when I get three of a kind how a board will come out with that fourth card. Think about
these
bomb
are not.
pops
These
is-
are pretty uninspiring here. I don't. Nobody even with a set, huh? Oh, queens. So just James has queens. Plus he blocks quads. I mean that's really hopeful. Yeah. Oh, 2 pair.
Two pair for Douglas on a rainbow board. Not really a very straighty board, James is blocking that straight up top, which he's got to be thinking about.
All right, heads up.
Now he's got the boat, the nut
Or
boat.
he's got trips.
Yeah, whichever he wants to play. Yeah, whichever.
He can get quads without getting a queen.
Yeah, this is what I always call a chance at a super boat,
So
an aircraft carrier.
3 pair for Bertram.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Like I said, Jess James was blocking the quads with the sevens.
And he, Bertram's got the backup of having the diamonds. He does know that diamonds are no good, but it's always kind of nice to at least have a redraw.
Yeah.
Something you want in bomb pots. Did he get it all in?
960 and then 2 goes all in. And then
Oh, he pushed it. Yep.
Diamonds are live.
Diamonds are live, but unfortunately, well, of the 3 pair he had,
queens and 8s and then
again, I'm having trouble with the board because the board says differently than what we're showing. Well, no, I guess it's right. We said he had 3 pair, but he did
Yeah.
not.
king. Thank you. King.
So kings and eights are going to take the top. Could have very easily lost that.
Yeah, I mean that's very aggressive play
Yeah,
by Bertram
he
because
did
he
it
didn't
so
really have anything on the
fast.
other board. I guess he
Yeah.
was trying to get him off the hand, but
Yeah, because
typically
he
when
missed.
players are betting in these hands,
Yeah.
in these
That's a
big bomb
great,
pots.
great call by Bertram. It's
Yes, he's coming right
hard to do, but
now. It's YKEES.
especially when the eights show up, the diamonds didn't show up.
How much you coming in for?
All right, hand number 15. Any Eagles players wear the number 15?
Huh?
Any Eagles players wear the name number 15? I can't think of a Cowboy.
No, I can think of 11, 6, 1, 0. AJ
Zero?
Brown. Yeah, we call him Agent Zero.
Who?
Well, it was DeAndre Swift last year. I don't know who it is this year. I think it's
I did
Nolan.
not even know that.
I think it's
I don't think
Nolan
there's
Smith.
ever been a
It's the first
Cowboy
time.
0.
This is the first time last year
Really?
the Eagles had a 0.
I mean, I can remember some. There was a famous double 0 was Jim Otto with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember that center, but not many zeros. Well, that one was uneventful. Once again, we've got a few of you in the chat. Anything you want to talk about? Any questions you want to ask? We just ask that you hit the like button so we can get as many likes as we can. I'm very encouraged. We had a little bit of a glitch by this time last week, and we have passed the glitch zone, so we're all good for the next 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Live 10.
Is play the Joe Montana hand?
You can't be a 49ers fan, right?
No, I'm not.
All right.
No, I am definitely not. Is anybody a 49ers fan that's not?
I lived in Santa Clara.
Oh, did you?
Wow.
So that must have been miserable. My cousin Franny and my cousin Lyle, big 49ers fans.
7 full, 8 full.
Well, the
They're in Santa Barbara.
traffic.
Really?
People always. I think the traffic's great here in Austin. Go to the Bay
Compared-
Area.
Well, yeah, people complain about it here at 35 and everything. Go to Washington,
So
Go to San
SeaTac is the
Francisco.
worst.
L.A.
Of course, New York.
Yeah.
No one even
Seattle,
talks about
yeah.
that because that's a way of life.
People shouldn't drive in New York anyway. The traffic's been bad since horses.
I was just watching a thing about. I love going to Manhattan. That's
Really?
my favorite place. I love I don't want to live there, but they're talking about how all the hotels have to close for migrant workers or for immigrants.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that some of the hotels are
206, like the
Really?
Holiday Inns. All
they're taking them all for the
they have to
for the
because
overflow.
it's the law. They have to provide shelter.
Yeah. So
for
they're
people.
so the city's paying for these hotel
They
rooms.
pay a lot more than what their
They-
average.
yeah, they're not getting rack rate.
No.
They're getting premium.
Well, they're
yeah.
destroying the hotels, is what.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause some
I'd
of them
imagine.
don't care because they're making so much money.
I had a friend that actually owned a couple extended living hotels, and he said that's bad
Live 20s.
because you have somebody there for 3 months, regardless, even a fairly neat person, and the damage to the room is just much, much, much greater.
Yeah, they're strong.
6 raises to 210.
So I can only imagine.
8 full.
Probably that for a lot of Central American immigrants, it's the best housing they've ever been in, very possibly.
3 full, 4 full.
They've
All
closed
right.
all the big department stores and stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
because of theft and stuff. Oh, we have JR is going to come in there with a 3-bet.
A pretty good one, too.
This is tough for Bertram. I don't think I'd rather see him fold than just call. He's going to
Yeah.
have to push or
Yeah.
because your decisions are that much tougher.
Well, there's only two hands that this represents. His hand that he has or better, and a big pair that are better than your 9. So you got to decide which one do you think it is. You face these decisions all the time. It's like with these middle pairs. That's why I'm not a big fan of them. I always say 10s are just crappy jacks, and jacks are really, really crappy.
yeah, that's what Bertrand should have done. Yeah, that was a good play. With his stack and JR's stack, it's going to be a call. Yeah, they're both kind of short stack here.
We go. 2 times.
I'm a little surprised how fast the action went. Not a lot of hesitation as they're running it twice. Clean so far for Bertram, and he loses on the end. And he just gets crushed on the bottom. Couldn't even hit the turn of the river. Wow. So JR takes it all. Well, you were talking about Bertram buying in short. Minimalized losses on double loss, essentially, in the 2 boards when you were ahead up pre-flop.
Yeah, if he had like the full 2K starting stack,
Yeah, that
he
would.
probably would have just called
Yeah, I
and
agree.
then bet on the river and he'd have taken it down. That would have been it.
I agree. Oh,
Or it goes check, and then by the turn he takes it down.
yeah, I agree. Big pod going JR's way. My buddy JR from Land Passes drives out here for this live stream. We're wishing him good tonight. He said he was on a bit of a downturn, so that's a good way to get off the schneid. Yeah, I agree, Phony. What is more boring than politics? Let's stick to poker. How about poker politics? Is there politics in poker? Can you lobby for
There's
things?
more politics than I'd like to admit to.
There certainly is a little bit of politicking. You know, trying to get your opponent to reveal a little too much, maybe get some information, find out where their weaknesses are, and exploit them. Humans don't do anything without politics. I can remember when my daughter was young and I would go to church and volunteer in the toddler room, as we called it. Politics all over the place, even from 3 year
There's,
olds.
I used to be involved in the church. I used to be Catholic, and like I said, there's more politics in
Oh, yeah.
church than anywhere I've ever been.
Yeah, I
Just
agree.
saying.
I honestly,
Just-
they always, people always say that,
like, oh my
not to get too far afield, but prostitution was the original first profession. No, I think that being a priest was the first. What did you drop?
No, it's-
Oh, goodness. All right, we're fixing a technical difficulty that you can't see.
just trying to help.
It's embarrassing. This is like the blind leading the blind as we get our cords wrapped up around it. So, do you feel like you were on a short leash there or something? Yeah. As they say in the IT world, the problem is in the chair, not in the computer. Picnic.
Ooh, big hand here.
Oh, yeah, as we walk into the.
Sorry we missed that.
Yeah, sorry, folks. A little bit of a malfunction. The Queens run out clean on this one. Pair wins. Clean so far. And there's the ace. So we're going to chop this one.
Probably the best feeling in the world for yes there to see that on the turn.
Yeah.
He saves all
Yeah,
his
he's
money.
like, hey, that happened. I had a hand like that a couple days ago, and I got it on the river on the bottom board, and it was like a bath of anxiety lifted. Just cooling. I never was so glad to see a king in all my life. But he says, don't let it happen again. Well, maybe we'll go wireless someday. I mean, all my headphones are wireless, so we are not accustomed to having wires.
Most headphones are wireless.
Yes, I had these headphones in 1980 with my 8-track tape deck.
They probably were made better back then. They probably sounded better.
Well, they were certainly bigger and sturdier and
Yeah.
heavier. That's for sure. And let me tell you, you put those suckers on, a plane could fly right over your house. You wouldn't hear it.
I have some noise cancellation headphones that are pretty.
I don't
nice.
like them.
Oh, you have to get the over the ear.
When you turn it on, there's that moment where you think you're having a neurological event.
Oh, because it goes. Yeah.
Everything goes, oh. It's like, oh my gosh. Queen 10 for Bertram.
9-7 of
KY
hearts
is-
is in the muck.
Yeah, and KY didn't play his Uncle T. There's a very competitive hand for Queen 10 and King 10. King 10 gets mucked. Somebody understands the lack of value of that hand. J win with Ace 10. I'm betting on the Terry horse on this one. Yeah, 2 diamonds show
Gonna
up.
get he can bet, and nobody else is gonna.
Notice how I worked the political thing in there?
Yeah.
I mean, you did? That's as close as we'll get. Yeah, they
That was one shot for Terry there to bet that flush draw. Now, well, Jamin's gonna check his ace here.
Interesting. And no luck for Terry. James is ahead. Ace is up. Bertram's just dying to flip his cards into the muck. Although check on the turn is going to make him a little suspicious. He just doesn't have anything he can call with. Neither does Terry. Is he really thinking about call or checking here?
He's gonna raise.
Oh, he's going to make a move out of it.
Oh, he just calls.
He did just call. I thought he had picked up calling chips. Interesting.
have it like in my mind, like narrowed down to 2.
Well, we have a player in seat 1 now. Yes, as you may have seen, came in. He was scheduled to play tonight. So we got a full table. Thank goodness. Love a full table.
2-5.
I've seen the Yes name before, but I don't recognize the player.
Yeah, he's played on our stream several times. In the interest of his anonymity, I won't use his real name.
Oh, okay, because they don't know who he is.
The Masked Avenger folds his hand. Doug's got his 8-7 of hearts, which is a very popular hand. Suited connectors.
5 fold.
A lot of hearts rolling by, though. Makes that hand smaller and smaller.
Heads up.
Hearts are
See the
there,
hearts
though.
right there, yeah.
It's funny. It's like I don't know how many times in a ball pot I've said, how in the world with all of these suits did we manage to still get a flush?
You have a bet, Blake?
It's maybe another hand that aggression takes quickly. JR puts out $60. Doug's going to call him, going to look him up.
Yeah, he
Got just enough with the hearts, I guess. Gets an 8.
That's on him.
Jumps in the lead.
You do whatever you want. No, I heard this was the same bet as last
I
time.
Diamond.
expect GR just to check this. I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna.
he's gonna see if he can steal
puts
it.
out
here.
an
It's
80.
a
Doug's
instant
gonna
call,
snap
yeah.
it
Yeah, Doug didn't call the turn to
to
and
fold to
improve
80.
the
Yeah.
river.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. JR was trying to make it look like a value bet, but probably targeting a fairly good ace that missed.
Sometimes you can't help it. You lose the money.
Live 10.
All right, folks.
So you haven't talked about it.
You want to call it the Dion hand?
You haven't talked about it, or you have?
Why? Oh, because of 21?
Yeah. Nobody wants to call it the Dion hand.
He never played for the Eagles. He did play for Florida State.
He did. Played for the Cowboys. Made some money with Jerry doing Pizza Hut commercials. Ugh.
You don't want to have miscommunication.
6-8. Oh,
We kind of had some dry boards that have really not been conducive to action.
yeah, these aren't.
Well, just about everything got there except for the hands that are out. So James is going to take it down. Small pot. For those of you that brought this up a couple weeks ago, we did talk to our producer, David, our executive producer, about the possibility that we're going to try to get players to have microphones at the new venue, which I'd like. We probably have to do a lot of commentating in this kind of setup because you can't hear the players very well. But in the future, our anticipation is that we'll have some audio from the table, which I find fascinating when I watch live streams. As yes, bets his jacks, raises to 25, optimizes, got suited queen and calls. Right now we don't want to optimize to talk at all with a mouthful of chicken nuggets or whatever he's got. Jay Wynn, again, we keep seeing these suits versus suits with the ace-8. He's calling as well. So 3 players to a flop. Yes out in front with half the equity.
Blake paid 30 for him.
You might see that for those of you that are newer players, you might see that chip that's sitting on top of the button. That's called the burger. That's for the dealer. If the button wins this hand, and certainly jacks have a good chance. Yes is going to make sure that J-Win doesn't win this hand. He checks it. It gets checked around. Slow played his jacks. Now the clubs have shown up. He's going to make a bet. As he, I don't know if he's trying to cover his mouth for a reason, but maybe onions before the stream. I don't know. J-Win's going to make a shot at it now, which is exactly what Yes was hoping someone would do. Comes over the top now that he's got a little bit more money and probably get folded. Oh, he makes the call. I don't know if J-Win's thinking about making a more of a strong move at the end. Maybe repping a club. And unfortunately, that was not a club. Now, what do you do with quads here? What do you do with that box of kittens? You let him run free and make a bet? The worst thing in the world, though, is you check and he can just check back to you. So he's going to make a bet. See how much, maybe make it a little bluffy. 500. Yeah, he does. He's going to make a $600 bet. I believe that's maybe 700. And he's going to get folded, but yeah, I kind of like that move because that makes it look more bluffy. Unfortunately, he was facing a bluff, and the quads don't get paid. So as I was saying, we're hoping that we'll have some audio from the table that you'll be able to listen to. This table's been very talkative the last month. It's been nice, and I very much like to hear what the players are saying in a given hand. So if we do get audio from the players, we're hoping Dante comes back in after a short break. You missed quad jacks.
Hmm?
You missed quad jacks, unfortunately.
Of course I did.
He didn't.
He had it. Didn't get paid.
Yeah, he got a little money out of J-Win, but it wasn't a big pot. Yes, got him.
Did Optimize get more fries or?
I don't know. I think I heard him calling for fries in the room. So
I think those are mine from last year.
yeah. As Dante finds an old bag of fries that he had last year.
Yeah,
in
these
the
are mine
booth,
from last
still here. You think we ought to maybe take him out to Optimize?
Yeah, I mean he's clearly hungry.
Optimize did not eat today. He did not optimize his schedule enough to be able to eat. JR playing the 3 deuce, dirty diaper. But right now, this is just queens for Doug. No hearts available to anybody. Of course, the heart hits there, which will just put a kibosh on this. Let's see if somebody does a little pretending here and makes a bet. Doug's certainly not going to be the one to bet. He's got all the showdown value. It's going to be J-Win or Bertram with that position. Unfortunately, it's such a small betting pot. We're slightly over it.
Yeah, we've seen him do this once before, right?
Yeah. He tried doing it on the hand with the quad jacks, unfortunately. Didn't. At least when they were trips or set.
For
Doug
Doug,
is-
like
yeah.
people are less likely to do this multi-way.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
Doug's like, wow, he must have the.
But, Doug's, like you said, a very thoughtful player. And he's like, well, he was at the cutoff, so he's in late position. Maybe he would. With all he's got to get out, it's hope that he gets it past Bertram and on his left. So maybe he would do this. Again, these players know each other really well, so. And he does, gets it through. So like I was saying, that 5 on the button is called the burger. It's not a Mississippi straddle, if you're familiar with that. It is for the dealer. If she deals to JR a winning hand, she gets that. It's a little way of extra tipping for the dealer. I like to do it a lot, and I always kind of berate my table mates to putting more than just my chip on there. Sometimes you can build it up real good and have a nice little payback to the dealer.
1 full, 2 ace 30, 3 full,
Another raise king.
Yep.
Jay Wynn likes these types of hands.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Queen 9 suited, I do like. I like it better than King 10. I don't know why. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I do. Jack 8, another one I'll play, even though it's got a couple of gaps in it.
This is a tough spot for it. It may not seem like it, but it's a tough spot for James. It's a tough spot for any player to get
Yeah.
pushed back on like that. Yeah, what's he supposed to? He has to repop it, right? Especially
Yeah,
if
he
you're
has
suited
to.
ace king, it's like mandatory.
Yeah, because
should.
if you just float there, then the board comes out dry as a Nevada evening, and you're like, okay, what do I do now? So
And you could be missing a lot of value from ace queen that would do that, or
Yeah.
whatever. There's a million different reasons, but
yeah,
you should always repop. You just don't have to like it, and you can make decisions on the flop, folding to anything.
yeah.
2 full,
I like the idea of thinking about what your next, you don't hit because ace king is still a drawing hand.
5 full,
It's the best drawing hand, as you always point out to me. But what am I going to have to, if he's betting this now and I don't come over the top, at least finding out where I'm at and getting those target hands to fold, then what am I going to do on the flop when it comes out nothing? So,
Yeah, somebody Saturday folded ace king to my 3-bet, just a 3-bet. I had queens,
yeah.
just a 3-bet, just folded. 'Cause
Wow.
they thought I was strong, and then another guy was in there too. We ended up going all the way to the river. We were all in on the flop, and the king hit. I'm just saying, if you were more aggressive, you could have gotten all in. I mean,
Yeah.
the king doesn't have to hit, but
Well, I'm always surprised at how many recreational players call pre-flop and all in with ace
I'd rather
king.
fold.
I would too.
Yeah, just
I mean, if it's you could GTO yourself to death there, but GTO just makes you fold more anyway. It's just I think watching too much on YouTube, frankly. These higher stakes players that they'll play the ace king differently,
sorry,
more aggressively.
8 full,
somebody also folded a set to me.
What?
You were there.
Really? Are you talking about in the tournament?
Yeah,
Ah.
I think it was Woody.
Oh well.
I don't say his name. But
Yeah.
I just did.
Woodrow. Yeah, I mean he's a really smart but tight player. So if you target that audience, yeah, you're always a little surprised.
2 chip,
Like I said, I fully anticipated when I jammed that Broadway that even though I put him on 2-pair, I thought that player that was playing tight heads up with me would fold. Unfortunately, I'm like, gosh,
2 full,
this board is too connected for him to call with 2-pair. But he did, thank goodness. He'd been folding all night. And the diamonds get there, but only the aces. Well, I guess just James has got 3rd pair. Kind of seen this on the turn so far. Kind of a shutdown card.
Looks like Kevin's kicker doesn't really play now.
No, he's
so-
got a lot of protection for that kicker.
Yeah, that board was paired, so he's got aces and threes with a jack. So he's
2 chip,
going to push it every other ace most likely. I think a bigger ace he'd have found out. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
got to
it
feel
would.
pretty good.
Yeah, the bigger ace would have come over the top of him.
So now he's probably looking for a little value here.
65. What do you think?
I mean, I probably wouldn't even go there. I'd probably throw a 50 out there.
Sometimes your bets are so small they look too obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing more scary than a min bet to me.
So this goes about half pot, kind of the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking 60, 65, but he went a little larger.
And Just James is thinking it through. Well, he didn't bet the ace when it came out, But I was the aggressor. You know, he's going through the whole thing. Like, you know, what would I do if I was?
Yeah, and again, when you check and your opponent checks an ace with position, it is very disguising. So and one thing I've found with Kevin, he disguises his hands really well when he thinks he's good.
Yeah, I am though. I'm really excited to get over there.
The flop does connect, but they're hitting the ace. He's going to get more information. Well,
Yeah.
then again, he was in late position, so he got the information already. Yeah, probably overthinking a $77 win as we go to our third bomb pot. In our best Lottie imitation, we are analyzing to the fullest tonight.
Lottie's in Vegas
Yep,
right now.
yep. Like a lot of our friends in Vegas, we wish him the best. If you happen to, well, you won't be bored at this time of day, but if you happen to watch this Lottie, we're thinking good thoughts for you. All of our friends out there playing.
Three of spades.
All right, we have a set for yes, but it might as well just fold these because it's a
Yeah.
all heart board. I mean, it's just
Yeah, you don't have any overs to the king, you get beat by too many different hands here. And J-Win does have a flush he's not going to feel very good about. Bottom board, I think Just James has got ace-3 as the top hand there on a Broadway heavy board if it hits again.
One full. Two full, two full. Four player?
Don't
there's
remember
a flush draw on the bottom
Yeah,
of the
well,
hearts.
this is as these hearts come out, it's making J-Win feel better and better about his
Yeah.
10-5.
Oh, JR has hearts too. See, I didn't
Oh,
even
he's
see
got
that.
the Doug's got the
got the
nut hearts.
And Doug's got nut hearts.
Oh my gosh,
How did we
are
miss that?
how in the world with all these hearts is this board filling out this way?
Doug has got
He's got nut right now,
with top pair.
and he
on one
did bet
board.
it. I think he was the $50 bet, and he's going to come out again because that 6 is
Oh, he
lovely,
raises it up here.
and the 9 is even
Makes
lovelier
it
for him.
200.
He's got top pair right now on the bottom board. Of course, he's losing to nobody right now.
Yeah, yes is going to call. I wouldn't mind him just chucking this, although he does have top pair on the bottom as well. But
Yeah.
anyway, he needs the board paired, so obviously. But
Yeah, he does have the 10-8 redraw on the bottom if a
and JR's
7
coming along
comes
too with
in.
his second nut
Yeah. I get
here,
it.
but he's also got top pair, top kicker on the bottom.
A complete blank followed by a complete blank.
That 2 of spades is the best thing that Doug ever saw.
Yeah, it really is. And he'd like to have seen the heart on the bottom, but the wheel came in, but you're not, unless somebody backed into their danglers making the wheel, you don't expect to see that. So right now, JR's got ace king on the bottom for the win, and Doug's obviously got the top.
Plus, JR's got the second nut flush draw on the top.
Doug's going to put a huge bet out there of 1.1. No. What? Am I seeing 2 purple chips there? Can't be. Yeah. $1,100 bet. Very hard to call for JR. Just not enough on the bottom. Great bet by Doug, knowing that his ace is probably not good enough on the bottom, so max pressure with the nuts on top. What, JR? You going to be my hero and do it? He does call. Oh, my gosh. Doug's going to be so disappointed when he sees that his ace-queen not good. He got beat by ace-king. Matter of fact, he has to do the double take. Wow. What a call.
Yeah, that was a call. He normally went with the second nut.
Yeah. He was just praying that whatever that mess was on the bottom, that Doug had that. Maybe a set of jacks or something. Wow. That's very. If ever there was a time when you thought, after seeing the hands, that you should have scooped, that was it.
That looks like. Try it. Yeah, try that one. I always do peel first. Live 10, live 20. Live 20.
Bertrand's waking up with the ladies here.
5 call, 6 full. 7 full.
And he is going to be a little sneaky and just call this 20.
1 full. 2 full.
Nobody has anything to raise with, and he's going to be stuck with just the
And 4 check.
calling the. Here's a double straddle there. So we got 3 ways to the flop, $60 in the pot. And of course, when the queens come, a king always follows. Jay-Win's going to lead, and that is not what obviously Bertrand wanted to see, as Jay-Win's going to hit his top card, which is a king.
5 bet 100.
It's going to lead out here for 100, half pot here.
4 call.
Oh, full pot, sorry.
4 check. 5 check. Shut up. King.
Tried to play a little tricky there. The flop didn't really work out for Bertrand, so Jay-Win's going to scoop another pot here.
Gave you the wrong thing, huh, Blake? Huh? The machine gave you the wrong thing. No.
Live 10. Live 10. 5. 5 call. 6 full. 7 full. 8 full.
I drink a soda, lit, couple dozen wings and water.
9 call.
Offset. Healthy water.
3 call. 4 check. 4 players. 3 check. 4 check. 5 check. 9 check.
They go after the set. Right
3
before
check.
they close.
4
They have
check.
like an extra
5 check.
I guess, I don't know, sometimes just have extra stuff, like an extra drink that someone didn't want or they got it wrong or something, but they have it there.
3 check. 4 check. 5 check. 9
That's
check.
why,
Go
you
down.
know, I've been trying to eat healthier, so like,
All right, well,
thought about it.
Jack 10's going to take it down. It's really jacks and aces with a 10 kicker there.
Too hard.
It doesn't.
Yeah, so yeah, so I know that, and it's also the problem is with soft drinks is like when I drink caffeine that late, it's like even though I sleep really late, it kind of like screws up my sleep. Like I either sleep
Blake, you're small blind. Live 10.
long and I wake up earlier. It said they were here until but then I tasted it and I haven't had Coke in like Coke's my
Live
favorite
10.
soft drink, right?
Oh yeah, that was the guy who thought about building the second.
Straddles on there for Bertrand. JR taking a little break.
I was shocked at like how much I enjoyed it.
3 raise 4.
Hawthorne wakes up with Jack 10 off here, and the button's going to bump it up. Bertrand with his small pair is going to set mind here. Let us know if you have any questions. We are moving the club here down the street, much bigger. Bigger stream too. So looking forward to that in the next couple of months here, or whenever that is. I actually don't know. Ooh, Bertrand nails it here. It is 3 to a straight, but there's a flush draw out there as well. But he's going to get his set here. Now he's hoping Optimize has an ace. With the flush draw out there, I think Bertrand's going to have to raise this up.
Be like, oh, that'd be nice, but I don't really need it.
Oh, there's the raise there from the set. He's going to go ahead and lay that down. Wasn't a big raise, but any raise would have done it there with Optimize's hand. Looking disgusted with himself.
One sheet snack per week. Or not even a beat, just one sheet snack, like something sweet.
Well, so far, first hour's been kind of sedate.
It has compared to some other streams. But
Yeah, the last 2 streams have been pretty actiony. It's a lot of premiums facing premiums. Well, it can pick up fast.
Right? Like if you're expecting ice cream, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
6 full,
But
7 raise 20,
I mean,
8
it's
full,
like
9
kind of
full,
like that.
1
It's
full,
like, all right, this will do, you know. Like I can't have real ice cream.
20,
This is better than
20.
nothing, and it's zero sugar, right? It's sugar alternative. So it's like
What are the quads of the day? 4s? Yeah.
yeah, because they were queens Saturday, right?
Yep.
I think. I don't know.
doesn't really satisfy like any craving. But like,
Let's get a 3 right on the flop.
4 check, 5 check,
Instead, Kevin's ahead with a better kicker.
7 check,
This might be a chop pot though. Just get one
Yeah.
more paired there.
But the diamonds are now in play. Jaywin with the diamond draw.
7 check,
Jalen's gonna have to put some money in this. Oh, he's gonna check it. Yeah. Well, now we're looking at a chop.
Yep. Let's see how much pressure Kevin puts on.
It's not. There's not. There. I think Jaywin didn't bet because there's really no money in the pot.
Yeah. Now he's going
This
to make
doesn't
a.
seem like a lot to win.
Yep. He'll get a call from Kevin and they'll chop it.
I think. Oh, quad 4.
7 full,
Oh.
Yeah.
aces and 7s with a 10.
Yep. Our V Pip. Jaywin's played the most. Jerry's played the least.
It's funny because Jaywin doesn't typically have a high VPIP.
No, he doesn't.
This
40's
is
about
a
right for
little
him.
bit of a. It is a big game, but it's a little bit of a smaller game maybe for Jaywin.
Oh, the Strasbourg?
Plays all the way from 510 to 2550.
Yeah. Yep.
Live 10. 8 full, 9 full. That's fine, because that's why I didn't get 8 full, 9 full, 1 full, 2 raise 30, 3 full, 4 full, 5 full, 6 full. Let's do a full. 7 full. 3 players. 6 full. Oops. 6 full. 6
As KY throws the nuts on the flop and checks it, hoping that somebody hits something, but nobody has. Well, I take it back. Just James has got Broadway. Kevin having the nut spades. Oh, my. JR drawing dead is going to try to play his open-ender. I take it back. He's got a gut shot. Wow. Let's see where this goes.
7 raise 100.
A 9 would be a terrible card for JR.
Yeah, it
I
really
mean,
would.
He's probably thinking he's open-ended there.
Yeah. And a spade would be a terrible call or a terrible card for Just James. He's thinking hard about this.
Well, yeah, because he does in his mind he has outs, right? He's
Yeah.
got I got the high spade here.
Yeah,
Only a
I got the
king.
blocker in his
Yeah.
mind, or I could hit it on the end. Like 7 scared me for a second. I thought it might be a spade. Let's see how much Kevin bets into a $322 pot. What would you bet here for
I would
value?
bet big.
You would bet big?
Yeah, I would bet. I would bet
Yeah.
huge. That's why I don't get paid, but I would probably go 2x.
Yeah, but you're more
I'd
likely
go 500-600.
at this level. It's it depends on what Kevin puts him on, a strong ace or even 2 pair. It's hard to imagine that he thinks Just James here is going to have the Broadway. Let's see, Kevin, what are you going to put out there? I'm going to say 175.
7 bet 275.
That's more like pot size. And he gets snapped. And James sees the bad news. Put out a $275 bet. Great bet sizing by Kevin. Somewhere between you and I.
He got snap called. I know. He's probably thinking, I left a lot on the table. There.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly your first
Yeah.
thought. When somebody snaps you and you're like, oh, crap. All right. Well, we thank you for joining us. Those of you on the chat, those of you that listen later. I'm here with Dante, this is Uncle T. We're playing 2-5, no limit hold'em with bomb pots every half hour. Mel in the box here in Austin, Texas. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful Monday night in Austin. Shout out to our buddy Kyle. Kyle, I hope you're listening. Maybe playing the tournament tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, I just saw they're just starting it up.
Yeah, just started our Monday night free roll, no limit hold'em,
425.
with add-ons.
35. 4
Usually a popular tournament.
5 12. 6 12.
I love the word free roll. It's never free.
Yeah, it's never
It's
free.
$200.
It is.
That's. I mean, if you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, could you play for free?
Yes.
I guess.
Technically, yeah.
It's hard to win, but you have to buy those add-ons and
Yeah.
rebuys.
Yeah. and registration's all the way up till about 9 o'clock if we start on time, 2 hours in. And you have till the end of the 15-minute break. So about 9:15 is a good estimate of when you could still, if you feel like playing. It's Optimize has the draw today's clubs. Nothing for Bertram.
3 bet 60. 5 4.
So much better.
Straight up your alley. I've seen too many hands to be talking about, oh yeah, I just want up there.
All right. Well, let's pick a player that that we both can support. This is the Herschel Walker hand. Played for the Eagles and the Cowboys.
He just lost. He never played for the Eagles.
I thought he played for the Eagles at the end of his career after Minnesota and after
No.
Texas.
No, that was
does.
I'll look it up. That was Keith Byers. He looked just like him.
Oh, Keith Byers didn't play for the Cowboys ever.
No, he didn't, but he played for the Eagles.
I thought Herschel played for the Eagles at the end of his career.
No.
Oh, well,
I would remember that.
y'all settled this dispute. I have a memory At the tail end, he played for the. I'm going to make you look it up on your phone.
Well, he lost his
What's
Senate.
Yeah, Senate
Yeah,
race.
whatever,
Yeah,
whatever that
thank
was.
God. I'm not a big fan of athletes running for office.
A 5 race 60.
You know,
Nice
we will
ball.
never have an Aaron Rodgers presidency.
I didn't even
hope.
want him to be the host of Jeopardy.
No, I didn't either. God bless Alex Trebek.
I should learn how to spell Herschel. There you go.
Herschel.
62. I know he's that old.
The greatest player to not play for the Cowboys. He did play for the Cowboys, but that trade deal with Minnesota put us in a dynasty as we get an all-in by Bertram.
He did play for the Eagles for 1 year. How do I not know that?
I don't know.
92?
I don't know.
That was right after college.
You
Oh
know,
my gosh, I'm a
folks,
terrible fan.
I'm never going to win a trivia Philadelphia Eagles question with you, I thought, and here you go.
That's amazing.
Most satisfying moment of the night for me.
How many?
I thought at the very end he signed for a 1-year deal.
Yeah,
Like a
that's
lot
what
of
he
those,
did.
like we did with Eddie George and a lot of those.
We had
lot of-
DeMarco Murray. That was
DeMarco
a
Murray
terrible-
was another one.
That was
Yeah.
a God.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that one. Albert says, "Go Birds."
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Albert's in there. He's an Eagles fan.
Go Falcons, right?
No. He means Seahawks. No, it's a
Cardinals.
lot of birds in this.
There-
Ravens. Is there
Ravens.
any more? No, it's about
Yeah,
it.
we've got Jeff,
I
big
can't
Ravens
believe
fan.
I didn't know that. I don't remember it at all. Like,
JR and KY both have ace 10 suited. Let's see if we can avoid a chop here by putting out one of the other suits.
he went back to Dallas in '96.
Yeah, he closed out his career.
I remember that. He was with the Giants.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he was a bit of a suitcase at the end of his career.
500 yards for the
Yeah, the
Eagles.
diamonds do come out, so we are probably not going to have a chat. KY's way out in the lead. Kevin's out in the lead.
He had 50 receptions for the Eagles.
Yeah, well there you
7
go.
touchdowns.
They
How
used
do
him
I-
as an option back.
What, I just took the year off?
Yeah, I guess. You know, maybe that was a. Were you experimenting with drugs at that particular?
No, I was pretty much an altar boy.
And Kevin hits his diamonds, but it's going to be hard for JR to call anything.
Second nut diamond there for Kevin, and he's getting paid off these. So, in usual fashion, probably see him check.
Falcons are the dirty birds. That's the truth.
That used to be their dance, the Dirty Bird. Remember
I do
And,
remember the dirty bird.
that running back?
Right up there with the Iggy Shuffle in my eyes. Though not a big fan of planned celebrations.
No, me either.
The Fun Bunch, you remember that? I hated that. Well, sorry, we don't call them that anymore. The Washington football team, the Commanders.
The Commanders.
I hate that.
I kind of like their uniforms now. I think they're pretty cool looking. I mean,
Really?
the only uniforms I hate is the Giants. That looks.
Well, it's
not gonna
kind
say-
of retro. It's like
It is, but yeah, that's just.
I always said it looks like something a doctor would wear if he played football. You know, not.
I saw a recent. We're going way off of poker here, and I apologize. I saw a recent, like the top 62 helmets in the NFL because everybody has a retro helmet or not.
Yeah.
So the top 62 helmets.
Retros or
Retro and regular.
and the real
Everybody
deal?
has 2 helmets, right?
Well,
So-
Cowboys going to be number 1, I think.
No, they were in the top 40, both their helmets.
Top 40.
It's kind of basic. It's a star.
Yeah, but it's
I mean-
traditional too.
Who the Bengals had the number 1.
Are
and
you
the
serious?
Number 1 and number 4. They're white. I don't know if you've seen their white ones, the black.
Yeah, I don't mind the white ones, but the
And then their
regular
orange
helmets-
ones was number 1.
That's
I know.
ridiculous.
The Eagles were 2 and 3.
And, you know, when they took that vote online, Cincinnati
It was a vote online.
Cincinnati was the only city that didn't have a power outage, I guess.
Show the 7.
No, honestly, if you ask me what the best looking helmet outside of the Cowboys, because so I'm not a homer, I think the best looking helmet in the NFL is the 49ers. The most
I can't do it.
traditionally best helmet is the Raiders.
I actually like the Raiders. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's a cool looking
What-
logo.
what-
and it's special.
What Raiders not cool?
Yeah, Raiders got a corner on cool. But no, I don't. I think the Bengals helmet is ridiculous looking. Even the white helmet's is kind of goofy looking.
I like the all black Falcons.
I do too. I like the black on black Falcons
Yeah.
helmet. That's cool looking.
And the Eagles had the black on black, and they got rid of it.
I know.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for the Cowboys to do a black helmet.
That would look cool.
It would with a silver star in it.
Or even white,
I
right?
have I have sent that into the Cowboys front office many a time through radio stations. When can we get a black pants?
Yeah, but their home games are always white, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah,
the
yeah.
blue is the way.
Yeah.
But say I don't like those with the goofy stars.
I have that. I
Oh, you
have
have
the
that
Troy
jersey?
Aikman Goofy Star. I loved it when it came out. It's not withstood the test of time. Doug wakes up with Queens.
Oh, it's terrible. The ace right off the bat.
Yeah, of course.
And people are slow playing their aces
This
too.
is my joke. Is that the odds of any ace hitting a flop is like 14%, 14 to 16%. Unless you have kings, then it's 90%.
I didn't hear the full story, but don't go to shuffle. I got it.
Everything got there.
Everything got there, and Optimize is going to bet at it with an 8, and he's probably going to take it down.
Nah, Doug's gonna call 75.
Yeah, Doug is pretty sticky, and he snaps it. The queens, you get an ace or a king is even more likely than the kings getting an ace.
Doug wins another pot here. He's on a little bit of
Yeah,
a heater. He's
a
got
little bit.
$700-800 profit, I believe.
He was just I don't like to say sympathetic things to Doug. He knows I love to needle him, and we have a running banner, and we play together. He was so card dead last week. It was almost hard for him to even get in a hand. He was so card dead. I don't wish that on anybody.
I played a stream. This was years ago, where I didn't win one hand,
Yeah.
and I only played a couple. My best hand was pocket fives, and when I say that was card dead. It was
Beyond.
I only
card
lost
dead.
a couple $100. They were all blinds.
Yeah, yeah. I've told people. I said, they'll say you're a bit card dead, and I said, no, card dead implies you were alive at one point. I'm card non-existent.
Bertrand with
Nines again.
again.
Yeah. And Doug with the big slick.
Are you gonna play tonight?
Me?
Yeah.
After the stream, you mean?
Yeah.
No. No, I have to get Tuesday. Unfortunately, we have a lot of meetings, so I have to act like I work for a living.
Everyone knows, and they probably don't know you, right? Yeah, they don't really know.
We're getting all the way to the end with a real small pot because the queens have locked everybody up. Now Bertram
Yeah.
is ahead. Jay-Win has got a 7, but Jay-Win's actually got 7-5, but with queens he's just counterfeit. So 9s and queens.
Doug missed a bet there.
Yep.
Although I think nines can call once. I just think that's where aggression is going to win you those hands
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
If you see bet a couple of streets, the nines can't hold
There
up
is
there.
this particular game does have a lot of trapping. There's a couple of Doug being one of the trappers, Kevin being another. Optimize certainly can lay a trap, as can Just James. They probably are a little more reticent to do that than they would be in a cash game with recreational players. A little less interested in posing like you have a queen there. A little more afraid of a trap.
Ooh, that's the hand I went out on last tournament, 8-4 offsuit.
You went out on 8-4?
It was right before the break. Remember I talked to you right before the break, and
Yeah.
I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I had the button, and nobody was playing, so I just went all in.
Surprised you didn't.
I got a call. I mean, it was
Surprised you didn't win it. Usually, when you want to leave and
with
you do something
King,
like that,
Queen.
you
You
win
called
it.
me. And
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I was still live.
Yeah, yeah,
But I just wanted to go home.
yeah. I've done that before. It's easier in a tournament because there's not. You just
Yeah, it's 100.
can't just pick up your chips and leave. 9s again on the board this time. Just James ahead. Bertram's going to bet.
Yeah,
I guess he's.
it's a good board to bet at because no one's going to have a 9, and or they shouldn't. So he's going to raise him to 50.
And he's actually going to take the lead.
Yeah, but he's going to spike it here. He's got 2
Yeah.
pair. Sizes up here a little bit. Gets the job done.
Nothing like a turn hit to be able to take the pot down.
Bomb pot time. Bomb pot, $10 out. So try to hit the peel over and then the two.
As we hit our 90-minute bomb pot,
Like I went to Vegas
It won't show in there.
and half the table was pros, and I thought it was the best game ever because it was like this is just as good as it gets and everything. Yeah. The table was right. And then the Rex at that level is like they're not even that. Like,
40 hands so far.
It's
Pretty much on schedule.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said earlier, we're always getting around that 100 hand, 90 to
trying
100
to.
hand mark, usually.
I played the game that Ricky was in. He was actually
Are we good? 9 players.
super fun game.
Who has the 8?
Well, Jay Wynn's got kings and an ace. JR's got an 8. Does make a bet at it with the 8.
7 fold, 8 fold.
Also because,
KY has. He's just
open-ended
going
on
to
the
fold
bottom.
his set there.
yeah, I saw that.
That's such a high level play because it's never going to hold up towards the end, but it looks so good.
It does.
In Hold'em, that's such. I think that exemplifies the difference, right? In Hold'em, he's raising,
Yeah, I agree.
so it's
I mean, JR's got the 8s here. He doesn't, obviously, he's vulnerable to ace. 8, which is what Terry has.
Oh, I didn't even see. See, that's
Yeah.
what,
And he's also got the wheel on the bottom. Of course, that's. And whoever had the kings is irritated that the kings came in.
that was Jalen. I think.
Yeah, Jay Wynn, that's right. And JR's going to continue.
Oh, Terry's got a boat.
Yeah, Terry's got the
I didn't
boat.
even. Took me a minute.
Yeah, and he's just calling.
Yeah,
very
keeping
wisely.
that third player in there too.
Doesn't have any draws on the bottom at all.
No,
So maybe he's just like,
there's that flush draw.
his
Flush gets there.
ace 8 is good. And the wheel, no, I take it back. The wheel does not get there for
No, but
JR.
It's not very happy now as Bertrand
Yeah,
gets his flush, but it doesn't matter.
He's ahead on the bottom. No, I take it back. Bertram's got the bottom with a pair of 9s and deuces.
9 fold.
And the
He
7s.
just calls with the nuts.
Yeah. That's,
Well, it's not just. I guess someone could have 9s or aces, but
yeah. That's what he's thinking. You'll see these players play more cautiously on bomb pots than you see in a recreational 1-2 game. He actually have Terry folds here, but he's never folding. Yeah, there's no way for JR to get any of this ever, unless somebody folds and they don't. So the naked 8 has not served him well. He did get 8-4 at the end, so he probably thought he was good, but he was not.
You have the 9. 9 deuce. You pair 9 deuce. So
yeah, like I literally
8's full, yeah. 8's full, and then 9's
And Bertram, who is playing his clubs and his open ender on the top, actually is good with 9 deuce.
that's the only reason why he
It's a
probably
gift.
called.
nice enough we chat.
Yeah, you can take that back.
I've never been so bad in every direction by one guy before. Where I finally had enough.
Bertrand not thinking that's the board he was going to win.
This is why I don't get massages at the poker table. I cannot multitask. Jay Wynn has said they're carrying a conversation, playing at a high level, and getting a massage at the same time. I can't do that.
Small blind, big blind. And JR, you have the short.
That's fair enough. Like, you're not moving to Vegas to get too fun.
Or Dallas. You can move there. It'd be like 5 covers. Not really. Yeah, even if they lose, you know, but
It'd still be the same number. You'd win five extra dollars. You would say.
no, I still like the buyout. Yeah.
All right, line 10.
Yeah, we're on for
7 fold, 8
do believe that the straddle is mandatory. We never really found that out, but they're doing it every time. Not a lot of double straddles tonight.
3 call,
Terry's opening up here a little bit with the queen deuce suited.
4 fold, 5 call,
Optimizing's been quiet tonight.
So is TM.
Yeah. All red diamonds. Funny how those diamonds always come out red. Bertram is ahead. No, I take it back.
Oh,
Terry's got
Terry's
two
got
pair.
two, yeah.
Oh, wow. So the queen deuce is rewarded for pre-flop aggression and hits two pair.
5 check, 9 check, 5 check,
Queen would have been great.
Yeah,
Queen.
it would have been.
Around 150 to get something out of Bertrand. If he knew where he was, he'd probably get more.
Yeah.
2 pair queens and deuces,
Yeah, that's what I say at the table all the time. Well, I would have bet more if I'd known what you had.
90, 5 fold,
Terry, who's been quiet, a little bit quiet, takes one down.
Just like most Eagles fans, really quiet and humble.
Yeah, yeah. Terry's unassuming and sedate. Had a friend lived in Philadelphia, went to Temple. Used to try to talk me into going up to a game at Veterans.
Oh, the old vet.
I'm like, you do realize that's never happening. I'll just sit there paranoid the whole time.
That's back then when they used to have bleachers. Oh, those are the.
That is brutal.
I went to I lived in Portland for work for a little bit, and I went to a Portland Timbers soccer game.
Hmm.
And it's cool because the soccer game is like just in the middle of downtown. You just come out, like kind of like Wrigley
Yeah,
Field. I don't know if
yeah.
you.
Very intimate.
Yeah, just right. Like wow, but they were benches for a new stadium. They were the worst things I've ever.
Really.
I couldn't even watch the game. I had to like, go. It's like,
It's like, yeah, I got to go.
this is terrible.
And then you look at our Austin FC stadium and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I
How
haven't been
far
there
has
yet,
this
but I
sport
heard.
come? You know, yeah. Yeah, we have an awesome stadium here. If you haven't been to an Austin FC game, go. It's a great venue. It's a great time. It's a great crowd. Very happy. A lot of international support. So you have all sorts of soccer, football fans there.
Now that we have Lionel Messi playing in the league,
Yeah. Yeah. They.
otherwise just flops it, and it sucks. I think we've seen this story before where somebody has an almost nutted draw, but
Yep.
it is drawing dead. So Terry might be thinking, well, club,
Stick around a little bit.
yeah.
And of course, the yes is going to call 120 with a king. No, he folds it. No, wait a minute. No, Jack 8 folded.
I think yes has to call here. You just can't
Yeah.
fold once.
Austin's not going to be the first team to get first
1 call,
Looks like a call with one ace of clubs.
So I'm going to ask you a question because, you know, maybe this is my age showing up. That might get him to fold when the clubs bet here. But the whole pulling it, Just James was doing it earlier also. Pulling your shirt or your sweatshirt, your hoodie up over your lower half of your face. You don't do that in the rest of life.
No,
You
I
sit around
mean,
with
he's
it.
obviously thinking he's blocking some sort of tell. And right now, I really think it's more of a self-soothing when you're in a
Oh.
stressful
Interesting.
situation, right?
Self-soothing.
Yeah, because it used to be, well, I got to hide my jugular. Right? No one.
Nobody can see my
No one's
jugular.
looking at jugular at 2.5.
I always think that's what subcutaneous fat is for, to hide your jugular.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
So I think it's just self-soothing. You'll see. I don't do it. I've never done it. But I mean,
well, you have a beard that doesn't really make
Oh,
it
yeah.
break. It does. You flip that collar up, and you're going to have hair straight
Oh,
up
yeah,
over
straight
your
up in the
eyes
air.
coming off your beard.
10,
But
20,
yeah, I've never really got that. I don't know. I just, you know,
It used to be the high tell.
I always
from what
wonder about the psychology of those things. I like the self-soothing, you know. I just always wonder if they were breastfed. That's good. Why are you covering your mouth there? You looking for a pacifier? But
What
yeah,
I'll do is I'll just, if I'm wearing a hat, I'll just lower my head.
yeah,
Same thing.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, or I think the worst thing you can do is talk. But
The best advice I ever heard actually came from Eric Seidel. And he was talking about a hand where he was under a tremendous amount of pressure. The player was tanking. It was for his tournament life, and he said they asked him, he said, "What were you doing? I mean, you were just a rock. You were a sphinx sitting there." And he goes, "Oh, I have a thought process." And they're like, "Really? What is that?" He goes, "I have a happy place."
yeah,
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, little Peter Pan. Like, where do you go?" I go to a happy place in my head, and I do that. I'll actually. I had a player say, "Well, I caught you smiling," and I thought, "Well, he's just." I don't know what kind of read he got off it. I was thinking, no, I was actually thinking about my daughter and I going to the beach when she was about 5, and she kept calling the sea the lotion. Can we go in the lotion again? And I had that thought in my head. I was going to my happy place, and I've used that over and over. The Eric Seidel, go to your happy place. Think about anything but what you're doing right at that moment. What do you think of that psychology?
I like it better than mine. I tend to talk a lot.
Yeah, well, the Negranu philosophy of just having diarrhea of the mouth is a good thing too.
I
I
do
do that
talk.
as well
I do talk
sometimes.
a lot. I probably talk too much,
Yeah, I've had a couple players tell
especially
me
if
I
I know
couldn't make
you.
sense of your wordplay, and I was like, I wasn't wordplaying. I was just jacking around. Terry gets the queens.
Lots of queens tonight we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of queens, a lot of small to mid pairs. I mean, it's been pairs, quite a few. Bertram's got 4s instead of 9s this time.
Really got to respect Terry's bet here. He hasn't been out of line at all tonight and hasn't played a lot of hands. So when he bets big like this, you got to put him on some pretty good holdings there. And we're at queens against 4s. Oh,
Wow.
absolutely smashes. Although
Yeah, the 4s again. This is our theme of the night: is that a board comes out where somebody smashes it and there's nobody that can call them.
I'd much rather Terry bet here, and he does.
Yeah,
Because that's his board. What's he faking? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
what's he? He's just
Yeah,
hoping he's got.
he's hoping he's not up against
You
Ace
can't make
King.
those huge 3 bets and then
Yeah,
that board comes out and you go check.
yeah.
The fact that he thought he can get away on flip.
He's a really small dude, you know? Middle-aged small dude.
And then they told me, like, everybody
Don't know who
next thing you know, this guy's just
Doug R is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would read out your name. What does it say?
X get X. I don't know.
Random, yeah, random letter generator.
Another King 10, but Just James is going to play his King 10. He's going to play it for a raise here. I guess that's better than just
Jay
flatting.
just the 4s. These are the quads of the day.
They were right next to each
So we've never had a quad of the day one on the live stream. Not here at Austin anyway. So
He didn't steal Neil's money. He went across the table to Ellie.
Ace King with his. I'm sorry, JR with
JR.
his Ace King.
yep.
Jaywin's like, well, still set mining. Still set.
Yeah, yeah. That's all you're doing. I'm always surprised at the 1-2 players that tell me, yeah, I had a pair of 3s. I'm like, it was a $30 pre-flop. You didn't want to set mine? Not a terrible board for 4s, but the king is obviously hit. Some backdoor capabilities for Jay Wynn. Only the straight.
Jaywin's
Then
like, that's
he
almost a
says,
flop.
yeah, don't want none. That's all right. Just I don't know exactly who that was for. Doug, he's in the chat, not TC. Oh, okay. We thought you were talking about Seed 8 there. Nobody talks about our player, Doug. He's not that interesting. I said that because I know he watches this afterwards.
Yeah, he does. He critiques it and puts it on Instagram.
Does he? Yeah.
Certain spots, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's got, all 4 people that are on his account are appreciative of that.
You don't have Instagram?
I do, but I don't follow him.
Oh, how many people do you have following you?
Um,
That's the.
I never post. I only look at
Oh.
other people's. So it's
don't
kind of like
post that much
TikTok.
either.
I don't even know how many follow me. I have no idea. I have seen people say, "Oh, so and so is following you now," when it pops up.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
why?
I,
It's like the one thing I'd never do is Facebook. I just never do that.
well, if you do Instagram, you do Facebook.
I know,
Yeah, it goes.
and I don't do either.
I don't do either.
I have looked at things on Instagram. I do TikTok. I like to watch
I don't have
stupid cat videos. And they're the right length for my short attention span. Optimized with his eights, misses, but king hits for Terry. And Doug does get a little piece, but Terry's bet is probably not going to get called.
It's a pretty small bet
Oh,
there.
he did. All right. Optimize is not done set mining. Not afraid of clubs. Not afraid of no stinking king. Now he's got 4 clubs to deal with. And he's got the 8. Oh my gosh. I just saw his 8 of clubs. Wow.
Oh!
That's why he stayed in the hand. He believed in that 8 of clubs, and it came true.
You're so behind.
Yeah, so behind. I didn't even see the equity
I
on the
didn't
board,
either,
but I'm
yeah.
sure it was pretty one-sided. And Jaywin's still leading in VPIP. Terry's still at the backside.
He's
Not a lot of
starting to
hands for him
playing
to
a
play
little bit more
with.
hands now.
Yeah. Optimize has been quiet, but he's still got a pretty good VPIP.
Five fold. 200. See 200 on 200. You can do it while we're going. Yeah. Six calls 20, 7 fold, 8 fold, 9 fold, 1 fold.
Just a lot of trash coming and going on this hand. Optimize.
Yeah,
with
we
the hand.
haven't seen a lot of big hands crashing into each other this evening. Not yet, anyway. We're still only halfway there. We've seen a lot of ace queens.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of ace queens.
Watch out. I'm going to play it like it's ace. I'm going to play it like it's ace.
Hmm?
I saw the clip and didn't realize, and then yeah, it was like
Okay, maybe I'll take it. Okay, I just need to
Oh, okay.
and I just saw it again. It popped up.
I don't know what they are.
The whole bit of video. But
Line 10.
in the video, yeah, he calls them out too. Yeah, I know.
Oh. 6 fold.
Peter and Michael.
7 fold, 8 fold.
Are these changed? The channels.
Don't know.
I don't want to hit Brian. Sorry, guys. We're looking for some stuff.
A couple of computer geeks here that
And
have no idea what they're doing.
I don't
think
know
it's
where it
this
is.
one right here.
Is it that? It wasn't.
I think so.
No,
Okay. Well, we were going to tell you about our tournaments. There they are.
it's a different thing.
4 check. 6 check.
Well, yeah, that's one.
That's yeah. So
We'll wait till
after this
hands
hand, we'll tell you about our double green chip bounty that we've started on Friday nights. We changed from the PLO. We'll talk about that as we get back to the hand. Jay Wynn takes it down with the king. No, he's still playing because Jack stayed in there.
Bet 25. 6 raises to 100. 4 fold.
Show the other one.
Yeah, he gets it. Throws out $100 into a $25 bet. And JR takes it down. He beats the Kings. Jay Wynn didn't fight for that one. Okay, so let's talk about Friday night.
Oh, I'm
Friday
glad they
night
did.
is Dante discovers which side of the mouse the right button's on.
Yeah, I can
Is our $3,000 guaranteed bounties included in that, but double green chip bounty for $150. This is we had the PLO tournament before, the $20,000 starting stack, 20-minute levels, bit of a not a turbo, pretty close. Really enjoyed this tournament. It's been going for the last couple of weeks. Very excited to get that going.
I threw him too far.
We also have our $120 no limit hold'em tournament on Saturday, which I've always liked.
Yeah, that's the one.
But that's the one I took down last week. That's probably why I like it so much. Is I actually won it last week. But we went till 1:30 morning playing heads up. I think that tournament will pick up some action once the PLO players adjust to the Tuesday night PLO tournament that we have now, changed from Friday. So if you want to come down this Friday, join us. Please do. Fun tournaments all week. As we said earlier, we've got the free roll tonight, which has add-ons. I believe you get for 80,000 you get 60K at break. So
for $80,
yeah, I believe so. I think it's 80 for 60.
$20
Yeah.
for 10,000
Yeah.
chips. So I think it's 100 for 50.
I
Right.
don't remember. I just remember spending 80 last time when I came in late, so I probably am getting that wrong. KY is
Jay
losing
went
to
with
the
a
two pair.
pair. Yeah, he's going to need to.
Yeah, on a straighty board.
He's dead to a king here.
Yeah.
First time we've seen
Queen hits, it's going to get ugly.
Kevin not be ahead.
Yeah. And he gets away from it. We are rolling through the hands. Mel's just, somebody's going to need to give her some Ben Gay after this. She is just working it out. Hand 50, which is a little unusual, 15 minutes before the halfway mark. So we're gonna pop right over 100 hands tonight, unless our second dealer, which I believe is Asa, maybe if he pulls a hamstring, we won't get 100.
Live 10.
I wouldn't say most, but definitely.
Nine fold, one fold.
They're essentially doing a money grab. It's like once it starts, you know for sure that
You know what? The bad thing about watching this live stream sometimes, like this Queen 4 is a good example. It reinforces some of my bad habits to see better players than me doing the same things. Now, it's a button, so I get it, but I play these kinds of cards too many times. Way too many times.
I just can't. Yeah, I just can't play this.
The suited.
I mean, there's no connect. Yeah.
He'll probably get rewarded on this hand, so it'll like.
He'll probably get it with a
reinforce
4.
Yeah, he'll
or
get it with a
aggression.
4 or a couple of clubs at the end. He does get it. He does make a button bet.
JR's got some life though. He is a gutter here
Yeah,
for the
he
nuts.
does. It's always a little harder to believe the button anyway.
Anyway, my whole point was more like the trend, especially in Houston, is that when these places know there's just a lot of
See if. No, he checks back. Optimized does not take the lead. And, of course, JR is going to be rewarded for his patience. He's going to check.
I think Optimize knows he's going to have to lay a bet there. I mean,
he's gonna
what's
make
he
a big
calling
bet too, I
with?
guess.
He's probably calling with a pair.
No, he just.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a little afraid of the disguised eight, like a bad ace.
I play a poker game every Friday and Saturday night on 6th Street. Bubble bar.
JR's done well tonight. He's up. He's our leader, up only 630. It's been a fairly
There's a poker room there.
catastrophic free night. Yeah, it has. You know, compared to last week where we just had, I mean, 2 cooler hands for Just Josh that were just brutal. After going up significantly at the beginning, it was a pretty actiony night.
Now it's just an unranked game. They don't rank. They don't rank. All you gotta do is
Live
pay
10.
$10 at the
Live
door.
10.
You know, I think
Eight fold. Nine raise 20. One fold. Two fold. Three fold.
My wife. In a ring.
Luca, first foul. You're gonna get fouled out again.
I love your wife.
You're gonna get fouled
I
out
do
again.
too.
She drives the Range Rover, right?
Yeah.
All right, hand 52.
Small blind.
Okay, well, I want to say Kevin's also been quiet, but everybody has, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not been.
been
We haven't seen big draws run against each other. I
or
mean, it's
big
just,
bluffs. We haven't seen any coolers. Great calls. Kyle and I, a couple weeks ago, we were like, okay, what's going to be? Let's keep track. What's the great call tonight? What's the great cooler of the night? What's the the great bluff of the night? And we haven't had much of that tonight, unfortunately.
175.
yeah, the players are more cautious tonight. I think it's
Yeah.
because of and believe it or not, Chad, this is probably more of a higher level game than we usually have.
Yeah.
I would think with a few players in here. So
Yeah,
all these players have been on the stream multiple times, but to have them all together at the same time.
Yeah.
Some of these,
Yeah, we don't have any action pushers.
no.
We talk about how much Chase or Mosquito Josh or others can push the action a little bit more, and it's kind of nice to get to the table because it does infuse a whole energy to the table.
Yeah.
As Terry
That's our
calls,
10th pocket eights.
yeah,
Ace,
It's been-
queen, and eights.
it's been the night of the middle pairs and a board that can't support them. Let's see a 4-7-2 here, but yeah, all right, there's a board that ace
Four,
can support.
4, 5. Here we go.
Yeah,
If there's ever a board for eights,
that's it.
no one's in there with a four, ace 4. I guess
No,
would be.
yeah, maybe ace 4,
Yeah.
and maybe suited connectors. You could
Yeah.
have a.
It would have to be 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not
So
gonna-
4, 6 maybe, but
unlikely. Yeah,
yeah, Terry should feel
maybe 5,
comfortable.
6, but that's not threatening. So
Oh, he was really trying to get that C bet going there, so he
yeah,
can just call.
Yeah. And the other thing is Terry's +1 here, so I kind of get where he's got the button behind him and the hijack, so he's like,
Well, Terry's picking up a few more, I guess, cards he's going to love, right? Now his 6
Yeah.
gives him a straight.
yeah,
He's got the overpair, which is very odd on the turn with 8s.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think yes could call, but he's going to go ahead and lay it down. Optimize
call
has
with
to.
2 pair,
Yeah,
first
he's
2
got
pair.
top pair.
He could hit the 8 or the 6 in his mind. No, he can't. I take it back. I lied.
Heads up.
6 would do Terry. And of course, making the boat at the end is he's pretty disguised here.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he has pocket 8s, right? Pocket 8s you think would might.
So what's your bet here? 1,267 in the pot right now.
You know it's going to be check if you go check. So he's going to have to
Yeah.
with the pot sizing. I would go half. Everybody says, well, it's the percentage of the pot should be higher. Well, now you're talking real money, right? Thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, and
So he goes right around almost a little less than half. So it's a really good bet there.
yeah.
That's a bet. You want to make bets that people can call, right? Which
What
is
you
one hand.
want is this right here. Now he folds it, but you want that face and that arm. Like, dang it! I'm having to think. You want to at least get them to think. Aggression frequency stat. Karen, I brought that up last week. Yeah, it was fun playing the tournament with you too. So Karen plays the tournaments with us all the time, and Kyle and I.
Oh, she's asking. Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was
she had
talking
the,
about.
Are you the one with the ace king that I said you should always raise or should call?
Probably.
I'm not sure.
Probably. Karen has really developed into a really good player in a short time. So if you were too passive, so aggression frequency is more about what you're willing to call. That minimum aggression frequency that I was talking about last week or the week before. It's like it's a pretty advanced thought process. I'm still getting my mind around it. I watched, who was it? I think it was Galfon talking about it, and I had to do some. She says yes. So
Oh, it
yes,
was okay.
her.
Nice playing with you. Played
Yeah,
with you
she's
before lots of
great.
times. Right?
She's great. Um, so I think that recreational players think about whether they're being too passive, too much. Um, sometimes they should be thinking about being too aggressive, too much. And again, we mostly play tournaments, which is kind of a different animal. But I don't think you be too passive because I see too much aggression mostly. I was afraid that somebody was going to hit. So that in poker, if fear is driving your decision making, it's going to turn out mostly bad. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with tournaments, and I don't play a lot of tournaments. I think with tournaments, I think being aggressive is even more valuable. I think with your ace king or your top 5-10% hands, I think being more aggressive is even more beneficial
Yeah.
um, in the
And
long
and
run.
and
So
that also, it's the combination of what I always talk about: your knowledge of the player, what you put them on, and as you compare to what you have. The first three thoughts, your knowledge of the player. What do I know about them? What have I seen them do? What is what I think they have compared to what I have, and then what is your position? Those should be, to me, your first three thoughts. After that, it's okay. You can talk about SPR, stack to pot ratio. You can think about value bets, and what are that? Why would they bet that there? Why would they just smooth call me there? That's um, aggression frequency is like probably number 15 on the list of thoughts that I have, but I'm starting to adopt it into my thought process as a way of being less. Um, how did Anthony put it to me the other day? Pushable. People pushing you around. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's
I even just want to make it for me. I make it much easier for me. I just say with this hand, I just there's for tournaments. I want to take calls out of my repertoire. It's either I raise or I fold.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I think
yeah,
where recreational players and starting players start with openers. What is your
yeah.
opener? Stop flatting open wise. Have you got a hand that you can raise with? You know, I'm sorry if I'm in position on a razor for, say, almost min a 3x min raise or something, and I've got ace queen, I should be coming over the top of that 90% of the time. But most players like, gosh, what if I'm facing aces, kings, queens, ace king? Well, that's because you're thinking about the hands you lose to, and that's not a good way to read what that bet
Yeah,
meant.
Alaska, what is he capable of raising with?
Yeah,
9-10 suited.
yeah.
Everybody is, right?
That's the first thought. What does this
Yeah.
player typically do?
Yeah.
I had a hand the other day where had a player just like berate me for folding kings against what I knew was aces because I had never seen this player five bet the whole time I've known him. Never. So
Yeah.
he's never pre-flop five betting unless he has aces, and I have kings. He's like, it's a $60 tournament. Why would you fold kings? I'm like, because
Because
this
poker's
this
poker.
this guy just made the first five bet in his life, of course. Um, yeah, I don't know. In tournaments, it's a different animal, but I'm thinking most of the time that a 3x bet is more in the range of nines, tens, eights, 10 jack, you know, one of those hands. Um, so with ace queen, I'm gonna come over the top of it. So I hope that is not too confusing. As Jaywin picks up queens, and Bertram
Queens
has,
again.
yes,
Nines
and
again.
nines again. This time
Let's just
for
say, oh,
Doug.
aces.
Oh my
This is
gosh!
gonna be a fun day.
All we had to ask was, "Hey, let's
Let's
have a
say a
great hand."
9-4 queen flop. Why not? All diamonds.
Yeah, you don't
Well, you
want to
can't
see
have
an
a 9
ace
of diamonds.
because it's going to put the kibosh on everybody. And just James is in this hand too with clubs, two Broadway clubs.
Yeah, for 300, this is probably an easy fold. You'd really have to hit it,
Oh, good for him. Yeah,
and even one pair probably won't
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
Jaywin now, he's like, well, Terry's been awful snug all night. He
yeah.
busts up here with a 3-bet to 300 after. I mean, that's a huge raise.
Unfortunately, this huge rage is going to get everybody but the queens to fold.
And I just think that it looks like he's just trying to win a pot.
Yeah, and Jay Win here is
He's
asking
like,
for
you're
his
trying to win a
stack
pot,
size.
and I have queens.
Terry's got 2.3 behind, which covers Jay Win. So Jay Win just came over the top of him.
And I can't believe, oh, the dealing's about to pick up. And I can't. Terry's like, music to his ears, huh? He's like, yes. Wait a minute, Howard. Oh, he did.
Yes, we did. So Mel just joined us. She's obviously still in the feed here, but 15-minute delay. So we're giving her a bit of a
I
hard
think
time with
Terry
this big
is talented enough just to flat this, but he's probably not.
hand. Yeah, he didn't.
He
He's
did
all
flat?
in.
Oh, he did all in.
Wow. So here's our pot of the night so far, as far as value, aces versus queens. And Jay Wynn's running through his mind. How often does he do this with ace
King.
jacks, tens?
There's only
kings?
3 hands he does it with. He doesn't do it with jacks, I don't think.
I don't. I
So
agree.
ace, king, queens, or aces. So those are 3 hands. I'm hoping he has 1 out of 3 of those hands.
Yeah, and that's the thought of an advanced player here is
Yeah.
how many times am I ahead here, and how many times am I behind? You run through those hands.
Now,
What
there
has
are
this
more-
player been like up till now? Which has been
Yeah.
fairly tight.
There are more ace-king combinations than aces and kings.
Yeah.
So that's going to help it. Almost not quite a 50-50, but it's pretty much where now he's wrong.
Yeah.
If you call, obviously, it's really easy to play poker when you can see it.
Yeah.
But that's probably what he's thinking right now. Well, I'm only ahead of 1 hand. 1 hand, that's it. And they can catch up real quick.
And he does fold. We didn't see it. The camera was on Terry. But Jay Wynn does make a good fold. I don't know Peter Clark. Do you know Peter Clark?
Never heard of him.
No. I mean, Peter Clark to me was the guy that sang in Peter, Paul, and Mary. So I don't know.
I know a John Clark.
You know a John Clark? I know a Dave Clark. The
Well,
Dave
he's
Clark
he's from the Philadelphia Eagles press.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So you don't
might
know
as well have said Bob Smith.
Benjamin Franklin,
Like, okay.
another famous Philadelphian.
Yeah, famous. Like, define famous. If nobody outside of Philadelphia knows.
Benjamin Franklin?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. I've never heard of him either. Where does he play?
He wrote the most of the Constitution. He got the French to help us in our war against England
Oh, the bald guy with the long hair?
with the weird
dude.
clothes.
That dude.
How did they wear those clothes back in the day with no air conditioning?
Well, I'm hoping.
I don't know why that just hit me, but I was like,
I'm hoping that they wore joggers a lot. It's just that they never got their picture taken or painted other than in those clothes. Because, yes, I know all the TV shows have them in those clothes, but I can't imagine there weren't some comfort clothes back then. And, silk pantaloons, although I have some.
linen.
Linen.
Linen
yeah.
was big in the 90s and 80s.
I have linen sheets. I love
beachwear.
Beachwear.
Well, linen's beachwear, right?
I don't even know if they went to,
I'm just
they
saying.
didn't take baths, much less swim in the ocean. I mean, come on. Didn't you ever see Shogun? First thing that
TV show
the
or the
Japanese
movie?
did is take them out in the ocean and scrub them down because they all stink.
I think he's going to flop the.
Yeah.
He's 50-50 now. He's going to definitely call. I'd like to see a little more aggression from Doug every now and then. I bet would have just won that. If he'd have raised, would have won that hand.
Probably. Although the 2 diamonds would probably call. They're both drawing right now. Let's see if he decides to be aggressive here. As Doug stares off into the distance for some unknown reason. He's doing the Doug
That's a
route.
tell.
He should look up towards the lights here in a second.
It's a pretty big pot here.
He
Oh.
does check. We don't see the card yet. Well, Doug binks it.
Oh, and it's a card that
And
hits.
It's going to cost him big time. He's got the big blocker.
It's got 2 pair with a jack.
Yes.
If that means anything because he already had the best ace, but I mean, two pair with an ace. I mean, two pairs with the king. God.
Yes is turtling at the moment, and now he's going to make a huge bet.
It was 1-700.
And he folds. Too big. What? What? Oh, yes, had the ace king. I've got this completely.
No, yeah.
I'm sorry, I had that completely backwards.
So for yes here,
Yeah,
he wasn't betting until he hit the ace, but then the obvious draw got there for Doug. That's why he's checking. Yes, could have saved himself a bit of money there by just
checking it.
what's he hoping Doug call with there with just when those diamonds come in? Another ace.
I
But he
apologize
blocks
for
the
getting
ace.
that backwards, but yeah, yeah. I think he kind of ran into a brick wall there. He couldn't imagine how somebody had diamonds there with the sixes. You know, I think he probably put him on ace jack or sorry, not ace jack, but a jack. I don't know.
No, it's
It's
so we'll get 3200, and then you add it on to it.
obviously kind of vaults Doug into the lead as far as pots. Terry and he now both well over 1,000. They're approaching 2,000. Yes, takes a big hit and is down 2,000. Bertram, the only one kind of surfing the middle ground. Kevin, who seems to not have played very many hands, still is up 573. That is the mystery, the wonder, the amazement that is the masked wonder, Kevin, the masked marvel. By the way, wearing the same mask that he got in 2020.
The surgical mask.
Yeah, surgical mask. That's the exact same one.
I remember
He had it's
2020.
autographed by Fauci. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. No one can find him now. But anyway,
People that you'll never see again.
I remember the day they said we didn't have to wear masks in the poker rooms anymore. It was in April. I remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very specific memory.
2021.
I was so comfortable with my pseudo masks like Yes has been wearing tonight. I had all these kind of gaiters and things that I was wearing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had the whole.
You know, that's the unfortunate thing about the business that I was in. I was at that point, I was the liaison for the 59th medical wing to the FDA and CDC. So I was like so up to my ears in EU not EU into the COVID thing that I knew too much. And all the studies that were not going out in the press, I was learning about what the mask didn't do. And it doesn't matter. You can still transmit. I knew that after the vaccine. I knew that like right away. So I was just wearing whatever was conventionally acceptable to everybody, which in my case was a Dallas Stars fabric mask made by a friend of mine.
Hockey?
Huh?
Dallas hockey?
Yes, hockey. Dallas Stars. Yeah.
I don't know hockey. So
yeah. Sorry.
But yeah,
yeah, a friend of mine had it made, and so I wore it beyond the mandate because I just like wearing it.
I remember, Tillman.
Yeah, Till.
He's in the medical industry.
My physical therapist.
But he used to wear those surgical ones with the white strings that would hang down.
He'd just take it down. Yeah. I called it his face skirt.
I know. I was like, jeez.
Yeah.
This is an interesting hand here.
Yeah,
Bergkamp should be good 90% of the time, right?
And 90% of the time he's got nines.
Now, this
this
could
case,
be fun,
yes.
right? Bertrand could be thinking, well, he's playing the board. He's got a boat.
And
I have a better boat.
Yes, he is.
And the other Jess is like, I've got the best.
But yes, here's not like, well, holy crap, is he playing tens or jacks? I don't figure out how that happened.
Well, I think he's all in here because he just lost that. Well, no, he rebought. No, he's not all in.
Yeah, he added on.
I think he raises here.
One call.
Oh, I guess not.
Seven's full of nines.
I thought maybe a tilty player would just jam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes is not very tilty.
No, yes doesn't strike me as the tilty kind.
Yeah.
Pete Clark is a cash game poker coach. Used to coach for Run It once and now runs his own site. Okay. Well, thanks for the info. I will look him up. He is not a writer for the Philadelphia Press, and he's not.
He's not a writer for the.
Yeah,
that's John Clark. Sorry.
Yes, and he's not Dave Clark, who had the Dave Clark 5 band in the '60s. So Pete Clark. Right. Well, I always recommend the cash game book that I use the most to go back to is Antonio Esfandiari's book.
I haven't heard about him in a while.
Yeah, I mean, well, the live stream group there in Hollywood, and it gets so much of the press nowadays, and these players that are winning all the tournaments are the most boring human beings on the planet. I long for the days of Esfandiari and Phil and some of the more interesting.
Yeah, it's.
Most of the younger
I
generation.
feel like it's all the same player.
Yeah, over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
because it's not like there's no
Foxen
person. It's all the same player.
Yeah, and that group that are playing that. Yeah, and I honestly, it's like NASCAR. All the personalities are gone. So
I
I
never
don't
watched
care
NASCAR
much.
either.
You don't watch NASCAR?
No,
Lottie does,
not one
and he's
time.
the least redneck person I've ever met.
You know, my wife loves NASCAR.
You know, I've told you I love your wife more and more the more you tell me about her.
She'll actually go to Sonoma with her brother to
Oh,
watch the
yeah, great
races, and I'll
racetrack.
I'm good. Especially they always get. I think those races are kind of in the summertime. It's so hot.
Yeah, they are.
I would be miserable.
You know, we had the Texas races earlier. I used to go that all. I always tell people I've seen. You know, my uncle and I always joke about it. That the most nudity I've ever seen in my life, including a beach in France, was at a NASCAR race.
Really?
Yeah, oh my gosh, the infield. Oh my gosh. No, unfortunately, it was not as the kind of nudity you want to see. Unlike the French beach, which was
There's a.
nice.
I didn't see anyway. There's some nude beaches in Hawaii.
Really.
Yeah, we went once. There was nobody nude.
You know what I've always been afraid of
Getting
going to a beach in Hawaii. It,
I would be too.
it's like I'm the whitest human being that's ever lived on the planet, and I thought on those black sand beaches, the volcanic sand beaches,
I've been there.
I just looked like too much of a great white shark or tiger shark.
You know, it's not really sand. It's lava.
It's lava that's
Crushed
ground
lava,
down.
and
Yeah.
it feels kind of funky, but it's
Funky.
nice. It's a little thicker than regular sand.
Okay, so
just
it's like
a little,
big grains.
just a little bit.
Yeah, I've
Twice.
noticed that when people walk around, they've got it on their bodies.
Yeah.
It does look like the grains are bigger. I didn't know if those were clumps. So.
Turtles love them. So if you're looking for turtles in Hawaii,
No, yeah.
go to the Black Sea. They actually section it off so turtles.
Yeah, it
come
would
in.
keep the eggs warm. Makes sense. Yeah, I just always thought with that background that I would be too easy a target. I'd look like a.
I never burn.
You never burn?
No, I could lay out forever.
I mean,
I get really dark and I'll peel, but I don't burn.
Honestly, I keep the lights off in the house because of that. I get, I'm sitting back from the screen right now.
My wife burns really easy.
Yeah. Well, I'm Irish. So
I'm
what
half
can I tell you?
Filipino, so we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty much, not an albino, but I am white. Very, very, very white. I'm pigmentationally challenged. Lots of Broadway cards. And the jack is the only thing that's Broadway-ish.
Yeah. Ace 10 still in the lead here.
All right. Well, I'm going to step out, put on some more sunscreen.
All right.
I know when I said to Lottie that I was going to East Texas, I was going to visit the porcelain pony.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, I'll leave you to think about it. See, come up with a couple of theories.
I'll just look it up.
You'll look up the porcelain pony.
Yeah.
And maybe if there is there the country equivalent of an urban dictionary, like the redneck dictionary? If there's not one, we should start it.
I can look up our urban dictionary.
Okay. Well, all right, folks. If you know what the porcelain pony is, please explain in the chat to Dante while I'm taking a short break. Ooh.
All right, we're off to I think it's our fifth bomb pot. $10, $90. Ace is in the box here. This is the 4-card variety of poker, so it's PLO. And we're off to see the first board, so we're looking for a player with a 2 here or a 4, so this should be interesting. You know that several players will be sharing that. Bertrand didn't connect except with an ace. I did see a 2. Looks like Kevin's got a 2. Yes has a 4. And Doug also has a 2. 2, 3. Doug has the smallest of boats on the bottom there. On the top, sorry. And Yes is going to call. So we have 2 players with boats, Doug and Yes. We give a flush draw here from Terry.
Shouldn't comment on a hand. Pretty relevant.
I've got 4s over 5s on the bottom, and I've got 2s over 3s on the top. That could have been good. No. Chop it up. Yeah, when Doug calls me on. Oh yeah, sorry, 8-fold, 9-fold. It's heads up between, or no, sorry, it's heads up between 8 and 7-fold.
Okay. Thanks, you too.
We're going to hit a chop pot here. The smallest of boats are going to split that up as we normally see. All right, Yes with seeing deuces again here. Jay went with the suited 8-5. Couple of hearts here on the flop with the ace. No one has an ace, but so I think we have Jaywin open-ended here. And he's going to nail the 8-5 draw, but the hearts do come in. And Kevin with the best heart there with the 10, that might likely keep him in.
Yeah, he does have a gutter too, so you can
Yeah.
hit the 8 or.
Yep.
Eight of Hearts would be his dream card. He's folding it though. Gresham took it down.
Jaywin's going to win with the best hand there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I just saw the 8-5.
Yeah.
It's like I caught up to it eventually. Jaywin's still down $500, but he generally makes his money.
Yeah, the game after the stream is usually pretty good.
Yeah,
So-
it is. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, a lot of times after the game, the players will continue to play. Turn off all the bright lights. They always want those lights off for some reason. It's not like these.
Yeah,
LEDs
that's the first
nowadays
thing they
are
say.
hot.
Yeah, turn the lights off.
Turn the lights off.
I don't like it because they're in your eyes. I don't. I prefer
Well, it's hard with Doug's head.
yeah, if you're
You know,
sitting
it's
across
like
from
an extra
Doug, then
set
you
of
really
lights.
need to.
Doug, that was for you.
Doug, why can't you get a hat?
Yeah, get a hat, buddy. You've got a beautiful dome, though.
And you can see other. You can people. If they look at your head, they're going to see your hand.
Yeah, yeah.
That tell you that happened to me once years ago.
No.
Not at this stream, but another stream I was playing. I had these mirrored glasses.
Oh.
I didn't know they were really mirrored, and so no one. I mean, I don't remember losing like. How did he do that? But I remember someone saying, "Hey, I can."
Yeah, yeah.
I only knew because I took a picture of it, and I could see
You
because
can
I
see
did a
your cards?
selfie, but I could see that I could see the cards.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
I was like, "Oh my god!" And someone said, "Yeah, man."
10 gets there. Oh, I take it back. I'm sorry.
Well, it's these.
thought
Well, I
Judge
found it right
James
away.
had his
See?
10. Oh, yeah. You can see your cards. He's showing me a picture of his hooded classic stance there. Fives are good so far. Well, that's as far as we're going to go, but we'll see. See if just James takes a shot at this. Fives are vulnerable, but he doesn't know what Jay Wynn has. Jay Wynn's going to probably make a bet. What do you guess here? He's going to put a 200, 300 out there. He
We've seen him do
the
it now a
pot.
few times, right? And he's really trying to. I guess he's discouraging a 7 from calling.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that was part of the plan there, and it worked. Pre-flop raises. PFR is a little low. It's a lot low for some players.
Yeah.
Just haven't gotten the
Bertram's been real
hands.
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of more reflect. The PFR is more reflective of how this table's been so far in the action tonight of anything else we've seen.
We haven't seen some of our regulars here in this stream. I'm thinking people thinking the stream wasn't going today.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately,
so-
we announced
Yeah.
that the last stream was last week, and then I found out the next day because we thought that the equipment was going over to the new venue,
Yeah.
and then I found out the next day from David that it was not. So, yeah, I think that was actually 2 weeks ago, and probably not as many people know we're streaming.
And we do have a stream next Monday. That
Yeah.
might be our last one. I don't know.
It might be. I've heard conflicted. I am not going to make any announcements.
Me
Because
either.
Terry,
But I do know it's here next week, so please,
yeah.
please
Terry
tune in
picks up
for
a
us
draw.
next week.
Fives again for just James this time. Bertram's got fours. He folds.
Little gutter there for Terry.
Yeah.
Backdoor flush. Sorry, backdoor royal flush.
Yes. Yeah. Boy, you're seeing that. And of course, he binks it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got Broadway now.
but James has nearly nothing. And he's going to lead out here, right?
He's
So-
hoping he's up against an ace, maybe even two pair. I think this bet will get him to fold. And it does.
Yeah, Terry's betting there because there are 2 diamonds, so he definitely doesn't want to see a 3rd diamond on the river. So he's going to see if he can take the pot down there, which of course he did. I'm going to leave. You okay?
All right, hand number 64, I believe. Yep, 64.
You get to see it afterwards. So
Whatever you want.
you don't pay people off.
All right. All right. Well, unfortunately, Dante's had to call it a night. So you've got me, Uncle T, for the last hour and a half. I am not as good solo as I am with Dante here or Kyle, but we'll get through the next hour and a half here at TCH Austin 2.5 live stream. Ace in the box. Katie producing for us tonight, doing their bang-up job as usual. Tournament going on, coming close to the cutoff for entry. If you want to get up here and play it, our free roll hold'em tournament. A7 for Jay Wynn. He's probably going to open up for 50. He does. Queen Jack is probably going to call and does. Kevin might play his 6-5. Those cards are almost always going to be live. Ace 10 for Terry. He's probably going to get a call as well. We're going to have a multiplayer pot regardless. Or some people like to say irregardless, which is not a word. Everybody just floats it. Nothing that James can call with or optimize. Optimize does call. Probably thinking the same thing Kevin is. Let's see a low flop. Kind of a disjointed. Clubs are not in play. Graphics changed there, but I think 10-3 deuce is correct. Nothing for anybody, although Kevin's got a gutter. Now the jack comes in. So JR is now in the lead. Terry did have top pair. JR bets his jack for 150 into a $300 pot, or a little bit less. See if Terry decides to call with his 10. Maybe putting him on a spade draw. So he's going to look him up once. Jay Wynn gets out of there, as does Optimize. King may slow everybody down. Worried about ace, queen. May not slow JR down much. Let's see who bets here. Terry's probably not going to. He's got showdown value. So does JR, and he shows pot going his way. Good night for JR so far. My buddy from Lampasas. Bomb pot. La Bamba. Yeah, he does play well. JR is a solid player. He did tell me pre-stream that he's on a bit of a down streak, but let's hope he just crushes tonight, gets him out of that doldrums. Hearts are hearts everywhere. Let's see who's got the hearts. Nobody so far. There's small hearts for Optimize. Better hearts for JR. So JR is in the lead. Probably doesn't feel like it, but he does have only the queen ahead of him. Broadway comes up on top and a pair of eights on the bottom. Broadway is not really in play. Trip eights for Jay Win and for Doug as well. Doug's got him out kicked. Matter of fact, Doug has got the boat, 8-7. It's always such a joy when you turn those two pair. Jay Win's going to bet his set. Don't know exactly why the hearts. I guess he's basically playing his hearts. No, he doesn't have hearts. The 5 deuce is out. The hearts are out. Jack 3 for JR is probably going to lick him up because he's got the second nut hearts. Not much on the bottom board other than a 2, although he has hearts on the bottom board, but with that paired board, he's not thinking about that other than as a parachute. Don't remember if somebody had a jack. Nope. So Doug's ahead on the bottom. I take it back. JR's ahead on the bottom. Jack probably gives him a little hope because he blocks some big boats. He also has a deuce, which blocks that boat. Doug actually puts in a huge bet with the boat on the bottom. Having the queen seven on the top, he does have two pair. JR is going to look him up, I have no doubt. He made a harder call with the second nut hearts or the second nut flush before, which was actually no good. But he did catch the bottom. I think he has enough at the bottom. Not much, but enough with just the naked eight. Yep, they're going to chop it up. So not much to both players because all the money got in at the end. They win $80. Typical bomb pot. You have to risk $500 to win 80. And we're back to hold 'em. All right, let's see some craziness. I'm ready. Asa, give it up. Yeah, Optimize. I don't know if I'd call him a professional player. Yeah, I mean, he's professional. I don't know if he's got a real job or not. I don't remember. Probably wouldn't disclose. But yeah, he's certainly at a professional level. I don't know if it's his full-time gig. Very, very good player. Hard to play against, too. Just hard to trap, hard to bluff. Everything is hard with him. Right? The hardest thing is watching him eating chicken nuggets. Aces for Kevin, for KY. Optimize. Probably going to call the 3-bet by just James, but he doesn't. Decides not to play those suited connectors. Kevin's thinking about how much can he raise here without chasing him off. Very deliberate player, Kevin. And he makes it 300. Insta-fold.
That guy? Oh, white dark hair. That's a Euro template. V-neck and lose the hat.
Doug, the big winner tonight. Yes, the big loser so far. Kevin's ahead. He's at the bottom of the green crew. JR's had a good night. Up about 900.
Even when you rescind your hand, you have to like slow.
Nobody really getting killed or making a killing.
It's probably because the main sources of poker over there is online, where it's very like democratic.
Nobody connects with the board so far.
Whereas the good games here, it rewards a different type of structure. You never, yeah, I mean,
King for Terry.
if you want to get into good games,
He's going to make a small bet, and it's not going to be called. $20 into a $60 pot.
it's almost stupid because I hate saying it out loud. So dumb, but it's true. It's like
So you can't sit out the big or small blind bomb pot so you're not gonna get invited to those games.
I'll say that's an expectation of anything, not just high stakes prairie games. It's just just like for example, like I've been. Wait, I'll just kind of give you an example, right? Like I was playing in a private game in Bellagio, and the game runner was drinking. Oh no, sorry, and the game runner was drinking, and I really don't want to drink. So sometimes like kind of emulate what the game runner does because the EV is not.
All right, if I need to go to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom. I mean, it's fucking different than fucking sitting here and watching everybody else play and sitting out the small.
Kind of sounds like
No, I don't make phone calls. That's fucking bullshit. I didn't check my phone. I don't fucking make phone calls.
Cool guys. I'm cool. That is why I like also respect the Euro grind. It's like
they just want to play. They're there to play. You know, and it's, but back home, think about how they play. Back home,
Gut shot for Bertram.
and then when they play online, it's not like
No aces in play.
see how much we like you, and depending on how much we like you, that's the game.
Terry does bet into it just to see where he's at. Now he picks up the gut shot. Nobody's connected with this board yet. Check, check. A very uneventful card. Aggression will take it. King will win it. All right, folks, let me tell you about our Tuesday night PLO tournament. Texas Card House has a 1,000 guaranteed PLO tournament every Tuesday night for $120 buy-in, 30,000 starting stacks. But what used to be our essentially free roll on Friday night is now every Tuesday. So if you played PLO on Friday night, put down Tuesday on your calendar. Come out. That's tomorrow night. I think it's our third PLO Tuesday night tournament. Something you'll see me play almost every time, being a PLO lover. Nines have been the hands of the night. I don't know how many nines we've seen, but it's got to be at least 10. Terry this time has got the nines. See if anybody's got anything that can call him. Bets 30. JR calls him with a very questionable 7-4, and the board comes out all overs. JR's probably not playing 7-4. He's playing to make a bet, and he's going to bet and probably take this pot down. And he does. That board's just too ugly for exactly what was targeted. Nice play by JR. Not playing his cards, playing the player, playing his position. Being under the gun.
What else are you gonna do after work?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing for like much better. They come into this game, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try my hand at it. Go to my girlfriend, much better.
So we play hand 71. Graphics lagging a little bit. Hopefully they'll catch up here pretty quick. As they do.
The last time I played that game, it wasn't like it was very much better at the end. Yeah, I know. Like you could tell they were friends off the table.
Haven't seen anybody's cards yet, so we're a little bit in the dark here on hand 71. Kevin makes it 100, 125. So we're gonna take a player's observation stance here. We're not gonna see the cards this hand. We're gonna play a little bit in the dark. Looks like we got a call from Yes. 2 clubs on the board, 9-6-3. A little bit of tanking here, calculating. A couple of fairly deliberate players, Kevin and Yes. $100 bet in late position by Yes. I'm looking at this board and thinking this is not a connecting board with any of the ranges of my opponent if I'm sitting there with Kevin. I'm going to guess Kevin, being the pre-flop aggressor, at minimum has jacks all the way up to aces with ace king, ace queen, and ace jack suited in it. He calls 100. Working up a pretty good sized pot. Now the board's pretty connected to the straights, but again, not in the range of either of these players pre-flop. Let's see how aggressive Yes was to get here. Kevin checking again. Pot's about 550. Maybe, let's see, we got 200, 400. Yeah, close to 500. And he makes it 300. So he's betting about 2/3 pot. Maybe 3/4. It's hard to believe if Kevin does have the queens or better that this board connected in any way with Yes's range. 8-10 is obviously the nuts. 8-10 of clubs would be great, but he's taking the betting lead after the flop. I honestly don't know what it is, but I'm going to guess Kevin here has queens and Yes has something like ace king. So if somebody folds, it's hard to say, but he does make the call. Well, if it's queens, that was a bingo card, the queen of spades. Might have, maybe the bingo card for Yes. It's really hard to put these players on these hands. Kevin checks. It's not queens because he would hate a check behind. So this pot is ballooned up close to 1,000, right over 1,000. Kevin shows the aces, and we don't know what Yes had, but the check back would tell me that he was drawing. Maybe bet his clubs and then try to get it past. Of course, Kevin is not going to fold aces to that board for almost any reason. So big pot to Kevin. I'm going to guess about 1,075, 1,100. Don't know what Yes had, but in all probability a club draw. Tell me what you think. Your guess is as good as mine. Kevin was obviously at the top of his range, but
Do you ever find that you're kind of put in that kind of
considering there was the way the action played out, yeah, I'd like to hear what you think you thought Yes had there. So that should take Kevin above the negative numbers. You should be in the green now. Find out when the player stacks roll out, wins and losses. King Queen versus Ace Jack. Doug's in the lead. As you can see the equity numbers there right below his stack size. Doug always maxes, but he's losing now.
I don't know what is
King Queen. No hearts in play. Bet to fold.
It's not a real word. It's like
yeah. So okay, got it. So if it was
Yeah, Doug has always got the equal to or the biggest stack or very close to it. He always keeps his chips maximized for max value.
the fact that we're making up words that we're just debating what is the proper use.
oh, janitary.
Hey, that's looking janitor type.
I know.
See some of these studs over at Samsung.
Now we get the cards back. All right. Yes, he's got ace jack of hearts. I think he's the straddle. No, he raised to 25. $10 mandatory straddles on. JR's got better ace queen, although not suited. KY gives up his 8-6 suited single gapper. Folds around. I think Terry made the call there for 25. Very dry board. Hits no one. Well, I take it back. Yes has got top pair now. So he jumps into the lead. We get checked around. Now Jack's up. Terry's going to take a stab at it. Yes is going to call him. Okay, now I'm seeing 7-6 deuce deuce. So I apologize, folks. I should just look at what's real on the board. I think that jack has got to be there. Yes, bets. Comes over the top. For a 2x pot. Size bet. JR folds. And he gets fold. So the jack is there. That is not the board that is reality.
In college, I was seeing girl, and that's part of. Once I
So appreciate all the chatters. Any comments, questions? Dante has left the building along with Elvis. They had a dinner date. So you got me, Uncle T, in tonight for the last hour and 15 minutes.
Girl I went to kindergarten with, and I was like 18. I saw her, and she was pregnant with 25.
Wow. You recognize her from
No, she recognized like me and my buddies, just like we like went to school together to her in like 6th grade.
What a surprise. Doug's got nines,
I wasn't in.
which he probably didn't have because he folded, and he would not fold nines pre-flop. Not for $10. So our card readers are a little off tonight. That's why I'm looking at these flops, as you should, in real time. Aces are on the board now. Nobody has one. Actually, Yes has got the better draw, although Terry's got the equity. Everybody misses everything. How badly do you want the $22? John, you're at the Horseshoe in Hammond? Well, good luck. Hope you're at the table. It's been an overall quiet night. You know, we just had some blockbuster nights the previous 2 weeks. Tons of action, tons of premiums. The one hand I remember from last week, aces versus ace king, ace king. A number of hands like that where it was just tons of card dealt pre-flop. Some big pots, some coolers, some bluffs, some draws getting there. It was just tonight's been a little slower, a little quieter. Not a bunch of I think our max pot has been 2,200. All right, playing 1-3. My favorite game. I go back so far. 1-3 was about all you played in the casinos in Hold'em. 1-2 wasn't even a thing. Usually uncapped too. I remember playing at the Nugget when I would go up there for business. The guy would have a 10K cash wad, I don't know what you call it, with the band around it, always sitting behind his chips. Not that he ever put them in play. He'd throw it out there every once in a while for entertainment value at a 1-3 table. Draw for Yes. He's going to put some money in with his diamond draw. Yeah, good luck at the tables, John. I want you to crush it. Yeah, that's a good reminder. You can watch from Facebook. I don't do that. I'm kind of not a Facebooker. Facebooker is what I'd call them. More definitely YouTuber. Even do YouTube TV amongst other things. But yeah, you can watch from Facebook. How many of y'all are watching from Facebook? I know when I'm watching a live stream, I've got it up on YouTube, on the TV, on the big screen. You can do Facebook that way too. A7 for the Mask Wonder.
I mean, he looks like a good three-point shooter.
That's all he does. He just spaces out the floor for them.
Optimize decides he's going to play with 6'4". Of course, Kevin Bink's the ace. Not much that Optimize has other than backdoors. At least we're getting a lot of hands in, all these small pots.
Not nervous anymore, right? What? Not nervous anymore? I mean, I'm just not going to celebrate.
Well, folks, I talked to Victor, our TCH statewide general manager today. We were talking about the games,
Oh, you're good.
the live stream games. We were also talking about the new venue,
And then,
suffering through construction woes that you suffer through in commercial real estate and also in Austin. Some inspection things came up, yeah, as they always do. Somebody says, nope, that's a quarter inch too long. You got to rebuild the whole place. Also, just waiting on certain things. I know I waited for my light fixtures forever once when I was after the snow apocalypse. I agree, John. YouTube, you can have multiple things going on. Bertram nails 8-7, two pair. Doug's probably going to call him with the sixes because he's got some draws to the 9. No, he folds. Doug playing a little tight tonight. As we hit hand 77. Oh, okay. So we got a couple of YouTubers. I am. I watch YouTube TV all the time. You know, I'll probably never not because my mom is on my account. So she, at her advanced age, I do not want to introduce new technological changes in her life. So, and I like YouTube TV. I watch YouTube videos all the time, poker videos. My all-time favorite is Crazy Russian Drivers. Man, I have some Russian friends, and I always ask them, is driving really that bad in Russia? They're like, no, it's just as bad in America. And I'm like, then why don't we have the videos to prove it? I also like to watch racing, other things. What do you watch on YouTube? Keep it clean.
One more.
I'm not even going to offer to buy out because I feel bad about
Jack 10 for Terry, 7s for Just James. It's been the night of middling pairs. Just James has them now. JR deciding what he wants to do. JR's played some hands where he's not playing the cards tonight. He's been aggressive. Yeah, I agree. I dropped cable too. I actually had DirecTV, and I couldn't get rid of them fast enough. And I found YouTube. I also do Pluto TV, folks. If you don't know about Pluto TV, it's free. They have some great movie channels. If you don't like commercials, I get it. Great music channels. Anyway. So it looks like the queen is going to be good. Second or third pair for Terry. He checks it. JR wins another hand with a very, very wide range, to say the least. He's kind of played a few of those hands where he's either not paid attention to his card and played the board, or he's played a very loose pair of cards that have hit, which is always nice. As we look at the PFR, our pre-flop raise percentages still very low. It's been a fairly sedate game. Nobody getting out of line, nobody being too crazy.
It's like a Suits. Great show. But like, repeats itself.
Yes, bet 75 on his king 10 of diamonds. Doesn't look like he's going to have anybody. JR is going to call him a queen 7. Unafraid.
I mean, after they kicked the main character off, I was like, all right, I'm have to go with the show.
He's behind, but he does have a draw. Both the clubs. Now, pretty much no draw.
When I was watching that show, I thought it was my favorite show. It was a very good show.
Yes, takes it down with no further betting other than pre-flop. Pretty dry board.
I mean, I knew the royal family didn't like her.
Yeah. Well, and she did an interview with.
Like, you don't date a family like that and then expect not to have success.
What a surprise. A middling pair. This time for yes. Jaywin hasn't played a hand in a while. Yawns and looks at his watch. Kevin's got a pair of 10s. Dominating yes's 6s. JR's playing unsuited low connectors. Kevin comes over the top for $140. Targeting 2 overs. He's going to come along and set mine. JR is going to get out of the way.
Fuck us then.
Two overs to both of them might slow them down a little bit. Each thinking the other's got a king or a queen in their range. Kevin does have backdoor spades. He checks. See if Yes uses his position. He's not going to use his mouth, that's for sure.
Why are you doing it? You know, if you're doing it to cut down on.
Does check back.
I think it's totally fine. You're doing it because you want to, free animals.
Inconsequential 3.
2 days a week. You could say you're vegan for 2 days a week.
I think I'd kind of like to see a bet out of Kevin just to see where he's at. Maybe something half pot or smaller, but he checks it.
I swallowed meat. No meat in my mouth.
Haven't eaten in 2 hours.
Midnight and it's 8 a.m. now. I'm not currently eating meat. I'm vegan.
Check, check. I think we'll go check, check again.
Yeah, I think the no honey shit is wild. Oh yeah, no honey. That shit saves the beast.
A lot of alcohol you can't drink because it has fish bladder used to make it. So half of liquor's out. You can't use like Dawn or laundry soap.
Made a duck.
It tests on animals.
What do you think of over bet? 400.
I thought there'd be no part of an Oreo that you could eat.
It depends on who you ask, because like a lot of vegans say palm oil is not okay.
I don't know palm oil.
Well, I'd love to see Kevin make this call. He's capable of it. He's got great instincts for this.
Dude, nobody's
And he's
vegan,
playing a
bro.
player that
Yeah, you got a cell
would
phone,
use
bro?
his
Let me
position,
tell
and
you,
he
bro, a
knows
couple
it.
things, dude.
It's hard to make this call.
Okay, but do they have a cell phone? Like, where do you draw the arbitrary line? And then you decide where other people are or not? It's like, I'll call you not vegan because you're disrupting animal wildlife with the resources you use when you drive. Yeah, it's all about
And he does give it up. Good bet. All right, hand number 80. We are on our last hour of the live stream. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Uncle T with you, TCH Austin 25 live stream. Standing $10 mandatory straddle. Terry wakes up with aces under the gun. He raises to 30. 2 red aces. Optimize might decide Queen Jack is just not his gig. Folds it. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to call. Jared does call with the 8-3. Showing a very, very broad range. Oh my gosh, Kevin's got kings. Oh boy. Here's a classic battle. Hooey. Aces versus kings, and Kevin's going to come over the top, which is like music to Terry's eyes. Doug folds. This will also get JR out of the hand, so we're going to go heads up here. 3 bet to 180. Let's see if we get a 5 bet here. 4 bet, 180. 5 bet for 6, 7, 450. 750. Very big bet. Wow, this is just fraught with all sorts of issues for Kevin. Now, I've seen Kevin fold kings. Yes, folks. If you watch this live stream, you saw it. Hasn't played with Terry as much as the other players. He's thinking about, does he shove here? I don't think he's ever floating this. You don't flat this kind of bet. You either fold it or you jam it. So will he 6 bet all in? I guess he's trying to figure out if he's up against ace king and considers this a value call. And just as you would expect, a board that doesn't even matter. He's going to check and let Terry teach him something about his hand. Our pot's already up to 1540. I don't see how this doesn't get all in. I know you hear that a lot on live streams, but I really don't see how this doesn't get all in. Kevin's got 2.2 behind. Terry's got a little bit less. Being unafraid of this board, he's going to make an $800 bet. So he bets 2/3 the pot. A little bit more than that. I think this is the point where Kevin jams it. I know that I would never be patient enough to just float this. I wouldn't have been patient enough to float the turn or the flop. Probably in the pre-flop. If you got it, you got it. You hear that at the cash tables a lot. If you got it, you got it. These players are a little higher level than that, and they've also got more money behind. There's only one thought in Kevin's head, I would guess. Kevin's 10 times more intelligent than I am about poker. Is, am I really facing aces?
Oh God, that was me a few years ago. Yeah.
Those cards in the middle might not even exist in their minds. They're playing each other's hole cards. I don't even want to predict what Kevin does here because it's just, once again, he's thinking at a level I don't think at. Excuse my preposition at the end of my sentence there. I jam here. And he does. And of course, he gets snapped, which is all that you want to know. Wow. $6,000 pot, clean run out. Just a cooler. That's the only way you can describe it. Just a cooler. Great win by Terry. Certainly the pot of the night. It's you could take every hand up till now, and they probably wouldn't add up to that much. Well, that's an exaggeration. You feel bad for a player when they run into something like that, but we've all had that happen to us. And I was just talking earlier about getting ridiculed by a player in a $60 buy-in tournament for folding kings.
I tried to watch it like 3 times.
But sometimes it's just hard to avoid. The way this rolled out, it was not quite so obvious. I was facing a 5-bet pre-flop on a player that never 5-bets. This is a lot different. I don't see how this wasn't going all in and going Terry's way from the beginning.
House of Dragon's good, and it just started the season 2. I'll be honest.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. It goes downhill.
And I guarantee you, Kevin is probably one of the most resilient players you'll see. He'll run it through his head. Maybe, I hope he doesn't, but maybe question whether he should have folded that hand earlier. It's just poker.
Oh yeah. I think they don't have jobs anymore now. They're just taking it easy. I like trash TV.
He's going to rebuy in for $2,000.
Fucking trash reality TV.
Barrels live stream.
No, like 60 days in.
And after that hand, folks, I'm going to take a break. This is Uncle T. I'll be back in a few.
They're all fake. It's all fake.
One of my fun. My best friend.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like she doesn't necessarily know that. Yeah, she doesn't care either because it's not a real courtroom.
He gave me the 100. He gave me a black.
It's not standing, but whatever her verdict is, the show just pays it out.
Which is like, I thought you wanted to say, it kind of like messes up the. You gave me
Yeah,
19.
I gave you 19. Yeah, that's all I had was 19, so I could give you. I didn't want to take the 100 in.
Until she just figured out that it's a setup and she doesn't want the show to pay out anything.
Oh yeah, so like cancel out
You
the.
guys are both freaking idiots. And, get out of here. Get out of here. But he didn't pay me rent. Sir?
Oh, it's on me?
Sir. You need to go.
Yeah.
It's always like someone who's like completely slack jawed. They have like insane like facial hair. And they're
Oh, it's always super poor people.
they're wearing like a button up with like flames
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
They're like, listen, I told him that I would give him the camera if he moved all the tires from my lawn. Like, did you move all the tires from the lawn?
There's like a really famous clip that I like of this woman, and she's listing everything off that was in the purse that was stolen. He was like, I didn't touch that, this one. And then she's listing everything off, and he's like, Your Honor, there was no phone. You're like, Your Honor, there was no phone, and they're just lying.
My buddy, like my best friend, he got called to be on Just Math.
I think there's a limit. I think it's like $5,000. Yeah. You can't sue like over 5,000.
It's like usually like $1,000.
Yeah. funny hearing the other side of it from like the people that are just like, oh yeah, me and him just like totally made it up, but they paid for us to go out to California and they gave us like $1,600 each.
Well, no, my buddy actually had a real case with an ex-girlfriend. The ex-girlfriend like
But she doesn't
taking
have
the
to
small
go.
transfer over like $500.
I'm laughing at you. If you give me a fucking a letter saying going to Judge Judy for $500, I'm gonna laugh at you.
Just out of principle.
But I don't care about the 500. You know, I'd
Just out
rather
of
not have my
principle,
face shown and pay the 500.
He's like, I'm not paying her.
Yeah. Yeah, if you send me a letter to Judge Judy, I also know that you're definitely not going to send me to real claims court. So there's no way I'm doing it.
I used to love
I still watch the Family Vacation one, dude. They're like all old as shit and have kids now, dude. I know, dude. It's so awesome. It's my favorite.
I love that shit.
You ever heard of 60 Days In? Yeah. That's my shit.
I've been like my whole in like middle school and high school. Every day I was fucking throwing like they have on demand. Throwing A&E like just like
Yeah, like the Scared Straight.
Scared Straight. 60 Days In. First 48.
Oh yeah.
Best channel.
Yeah, that
You can't beat it, dude. You're just seeing like a giant ball of Captain Crunch.
Your mouth is bleeding, you don't even know or care. Your mouth is bleeding from the Captain Crunch.
Oh yeah, like the whole roof of my mouth is on fire. Yeah, I have like skin that I'm like swallowing.
All right, folks, we're hand 83 after that tough hand for Kevin. Good hand for Terry. Hopefully nothing too exciting happened while I was gone. Ten 9 for Terry. Love that hand, and this time, yes, has got the aces. Fours for Doug. He's going to set mine for 400. Yeah, maybe not.
Not saying shit. Everyone else is saying it, so that's fine, dude. Nobody
See
else
if
has
Terry's
to
willing to play for that much. He's already got 155 in it. Is a Giant Slayer 10-9. It's kind of what it's known for. And he's up considerably after that hand with Kevin, so maybe he's willing to play for it. Fairly aggressive player to his right, or excuse me, his left. Blind versus blind here. It's kind of hard to imagine that he's got that good card. Makes a very disciplined fold. Not willing to give up his profits. Good fold. Just a little too strong pre-flop. Like to see a raise, but maybe a little too strong. Jay Wynn hasn't played hands in a while. Folds pre-flop. Bertram comes in with a raise for $30 with ace-jack. Folds around. Optimize decides the boredom has to be dealt with. And of course, it won't last long.
Check to see if we missed a bomb pot.
Bertram takes down a small pot. We roll on to number 85. Might get 100 in today. It's hard to say.
No, man, that shit's like, that's like, 4chan era internet.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. What website? Dark web. Find that. My friend just showed me. My feed's gone, bro.
Terry raises with ace-7 suited. 35 gets a call from Jay Wynn, queen 10. JR is going to call as well with king 3. Kind of been the top of his range tonight. He's been fairly successful with these cards. Aces hit for Terry. He's going to bet 50. Folds right away. Jay Wynn didn't play his queen 10. We're on to the next.
I gave you butterscotch.
Grandma's tablet. 4 or 5. No, man. Your buddy's obviously gonna be like, yo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was like 19 when my friend showed me. I was like 19.
The eye touch,
Button in seat 2. Optimized Jay Winner, the small and big blind. Straddle for Bertram. Looks like we had a double straddle. $20. Terry calls. Yes, he's going to raise it to 125 with ace-9 off. Optimized folds. Jay Wynn's going to call. Actually, does he put in a bet there? Yeah, he 3-bet to 500. JR's like, this is the top of my range. I really want to play for this much. Clubs are not likely with 5 of them out.
Celtics win you in 30K.
What?
Celtics win you in 30K.
He folds, makes a disciplined fold. As does Terry. Yes, he's going to do the same. Jay Wynn takes down a $177. You want to mess with the board, Jay Wynn.
Yeah, I use Bitcoin. Crypto.
Well, I actually don't like you.
And then crypto tanks, so I'll actually get like even more back in crypto because I'll get 30,000 in crypto at 60,000 instead of 69.
Yeah. Something will come back is gonna happen today. Sorry,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I take it back.
I appreciate
It's like 30 fucking points, man.
Just James. Bets 30. Bertram's going to call with his suited king. JR is going to call with his jack 10. Actually, 3-bets to 100. Gets a call from James. Although he's dominated, the clubs are not an option for him. I haven't seen a lot of flushes tonight. A few. Karen, I'm so disappointed. You 2-timing us with the Dallas game? Wow. That hurts. Bertram's all in with 612. JR's like, I just was in this position. Yeah, nice. Nice bluff shove, semi-bluff shove. Just James is not going to call. As Bertram looks off into the sunset, takes it down. Nice shove.
In their peripheral, they see the chip dropping too. So it's like it's got everything too.
You know, all I can think, Karen, is would you really be checking out the Dallas game if Kyle was here? I wouldn't. I love Kyle. Kyle, if you're on, we both love you in a deep and abiding way. How can you not love a man that looks like an Irish warrior or a Scottish Highlander? You can take my life, but you can't take my freedom. Being an ace, the ace has been a good flop card for aces. And Doug now makes 2 pair. He checked it the first time. It's going to be a little bit. Perhaps JR, yeah, he didn't get paid much for that hand. Wins $32. Probably still thinking about having to fold those hands to the big bets. Only 3 people in the green tonight. Terry, obviously the big winner. That huge hand with KY. He's up 3.4. KY, obviously Kevin's at the other end of that scale, having lost that big one. Everybody else kind of in the middle. Jay Wynn's down 400. JR's up 1,000. Played very consistently. Won a few hands that with aggression and playing the board, not his cards. It's always interesting to me. I like to do that myself. Oh, wow. Kyle, neither one of us right. Well, you know, all we can do is our best. Karen, why should you be any different from the rest of the women in my life? My life is dominated by women, all of which are checking other channels. I take it back. My mother, totally different. Yeah, you missed a great hand on hand 80. Karen, rewind and watch hand at number 80. That was painful. Painful and amazing at the same time. As we play a bomb pot, our last bomb pot of the night. We end with a bomb pot. We started a little bit late today, so this is our second to last bomb pot. Not getting the cards right yet. It looks like 2 pair or just a pair for JR. Set of 10s for KY. Don't see Broadway for anybody. I see the dummy into the straight for yes. Don't see any hearts drawing. Diamonds get there. Optimize has second nut diamonds and 2 pair on the top, which is always nice to have. Just 1 pair on the bottom. Kevin's going to call the bet that Optimize makes, as does JR with his draws. Open-ended on the top, 2 pair on the bottom. More diamonds and a complete dud on the bottom. Looks like the diamonds are good on the top for Optimize. Kevin doesn't pair his 10s. Looks like, what do we have on the bottom? 2 pair for JR is good. He doesn't know it. Optimized bets 320 and takes it down. Yep, aggression there with the diamonds. Takes the whole scoopy. Yep, pot of the night on hand number 80. If you're watching and you missed hand 80, if you had to pull that loaf of bread out of the oven or whatever, feed the dog, water the yard. Don't water the yard. We're about to get rain for a couple of days. So one of the things that I observe in watching this game and larger games is hands that are folded that I would play frequently, like Queen 10. Here we have Queen 9 versus Jack 10, or middling aces. That's almost always with these players an out of position hand that they don't want to play out of position. Something to remember as you're playing your cash games or your tournament games is expanding your range as you improve in position, in late position. I know that I've constantly go back and check my hand ranges and what's appropriate in the GTO and what's not. As Kevin takes that down, rooting for a big win for Kevin in one of these later hands.
Yeah, don't eat that. No, don't eat.
Can't
Oh, that's going
overemphasize
dark.
the power of the position.
Oh, that's gross.
If you play other games like the Deuce to 7 game, where that's the most positional heavy game that I've ever played, it's important to remember. Also helps you address aggression frequency. What are you willing to call? Have it in your head ahead of time. Something I'm working on.
And it was the green one with the shitty Skittle flavor too, dude. You could have tossed that bitch.
Appreciate all of you that's been with us all evening. I think that was really bad English. Dang. All of you that has been with us all. Yeah, that was some bad English. I can't help it. I'm from East Texas. You're lucky I'm even intelligible.
In the Texas sun, maybe. That plus the
Kevin with jacks. Optimized with ace queen, the big hands. Yes, the aggressor. 3-bet to 75, Kevin calls. Don't really know why the graphic said 73 to call. Oh, that's because he was big blind or small blind. Kevin 4 bets to 300. Optimized thinking about it. Does he want to 5-bet here or just float the ace queen? He actually gives it up. Very, very disciplined fold by Optimize, considering he had well over 40% equity. Yeah, if you're talking about the AFQ, you're absolutely right. It's this tonight. Now, it was much higher last week and the week before, but tonight the range is fairly low.
It's never happened. But I placed the bet when it was 1-0. I placed the bet when it was 1-0.
It's been a fairly sedate, I don't know what other word you could use for it, evening.
25. It went to 250.
Probably that number is skewed up a little bit after the aggression we saw in that aces versus kings. Doug's going to raise to 30. Haven't seen a lot of large pre-flop bets, mainly value sized.
Right now, it's probably
Terry's going to call him with the dirty diaper just because he can. See if he gets rewarded with a friendly diaper flop. Don't know what the board is right yet. We're just getting the one view. Yes is in the hand too with ace 3. Oh, 10 8 8. Yeah, that'll get everybody to fold fairly quickly to the first bet. So the nut low wins.
It'd be like 40,000. Maybe not 5,000.
It's always enjoyable when you're sitting there by yourself thinking about winning money with crappy cards.
Probably bet 100 to win 5,000. Actually, I'll take that right now.
Keep that happiness to yourself. That's my only recommendation.
That's fine. We'll put it in escrow right now.
So before we close out the night, I'd like to ask all of you to hit the like buttons. If you haven't already, even if you have.
I'll put it in escrow right now.
Nowhere near yet.
Anybody here at the table, I'll put it in escrow. 5K in escrow with Jalen. Yeah, with anybody.
Bertram with the pretty Broadway suited connectors. Jay Wynn with the
I'm in a hand.
fives, my favorite small pair.
He wants
Because
the
I
Mavs
hit
to win the series.
more than
My 5K.
a normal amount of frequent sets with fives. I don't know why. What are your favorite small pairs that you seem to hit?
Well, I mean,
Tell me.
probably even
I
worse.
played with a player the other day. Yeah, sixes. Definitely. I hit a lot of sixes.
I'm going to take the real odds once we look it up.
All right, we're going to a flop with a $77 pot. No set for the fives. Jacks are in the lead. Bertram's going to probably bet. Maybe come over the top. He's just going to call. Jay Wynn let out for 30. A little bit of a feeler bet. See where he was. Gets snap called. Queen comes out. Probably I started to say he's going to get a call here, but Bertram's not putting Jay Wynn on a queen because of the pre-flop action or the pre-queen action. Third spade comes out. Bertram, of course, with two pair is not going anywhere. And he's going to get a call for 100. Make a nice little pot out of two pair. Yeah, I know, Karen. I forgot about that hand. Yeah, John Terry is played well tonight, but of course, it's easy to make money when you get aces versus kings.
What are the options though? Is it two-way money line?
Hand number 94.
So it's a two-way money line, so you get your money back. That's my whole point. If the game doesn't happen, you get your money back. Yeah, it's a two-way money line.
That seems like a really good bet, though. That means that is Dallas that shit compared to Boston?
What's the odds?
Plus 2,500. That doesn't make sense.
To win next game.
If there's only two options, if there's an option for the game doesn't happen, then
Nines again.
you won't get your money back.
Our hand of the night, nines. Facing kings. JR's got Jack 10.
I think it's plus 250.
Just a smooth call by the nines. Optimized decides to call. JR is definitely going to call with that much money in the pot. Great pot ratio.
I mean, I was giving you better than 10 to 1. I was giving you 50 to 1.
Kings in the window. How much is that doggy in the window?
Exactly what he said, 5 times.
Well, for Doug, it's probably going to make him a little money just because JR's hit his top pair. Middle pair on the board.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Nines are kind of in bad shape. Optimize has got the club draw, so he's not going anywhere. I think a reasonable bet here, and everybody calls. 150 is pretty reasonable. It's just short of pot size. Nothing crazy. Yeah, nines have been out there for sure. Over and over and over again. But they do fold. Optimize is going to think about a raise and probably just smooth call, and he does. JR is going to get out of the way. He doesn't want to play two players. Be in the middle of those two especially is scary. I've been there. Complete blank on the river, or on the turn. Doug's going to check his cards like he can't remember exactly whether he had a king of spades or, oh, king of clubs. That's right, I got both. Yeah, I needed to check that. Now he's going to furrow his brow, blink about 7 times, and put in $300.
I think it's wrong. It's
If
wrong.
you bet on the Mavericks, you're gonna lose your money. I promise.
No, but it's literally just to win the next game.
He's thinking about which hands he's trying to keep in. He'd love it here if Optimize had ace king. That would be the perfect situation. It's easy for Optimize to fold this. And Doug's going to check again. Yeah, did I really make a set? He wanted Kevin to look. Kevin could care less.
And then if they win, you win 2,500. And if it doesn't happen, then you spend a couple of days trying to win your 100 back.
Terry's still the big winner tonight. Kevin's still pulling himself out of the hole. Doug's up 1.9. JR's up 770, down a little bit from where he was before. Playing a lot of hands tonight. Probably moved into the VPIP lead.
No. Nothing crazy or that.
Just James has one of those middle pairs we've been talking about in the small blind. Optimize can't call. Jay Wynn dominated, does call. And he hits his 8. Just about as thin as you can be. And then suddenly get ahead. But the ace may slow him down. $30 bet he's going to call. He's probably not going to get too out of line. Diamonds come into play. Doesn't affect what these players have. Check, check. And a queen at the end, which will kill the action even more, is if the ace wasn't enough. Jay win after check, check will probably win it. All right, last 15 minutes. Hope you've enjoyed it tonight. I have. My partner Dante had a date with Elvis and had to leave the building. This is Uncle T here at Austin. TCH, our 2-5 game. A fairly quiet night. Nothing really outstanding other than one very large 5,000 plus hand between Terry and KY. Aces versus Kings. Not too much like last week where we had the monsters against monsters. It was Monsters Inc. last week. This week has been a little bit more, I don't know, Teletubby. That's too old. Maybe Dora the Explorer. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ace Jack versus Ace Queen. JR is going to just smooth call, I believe. And the Queen comes out. 55 from Bertram. JR is thinking about what his raise will be. He's going to come out for, I'd say, 125. No, 215, 220. Wow, big bet. Good fold by Bertram. JR shows the queen. Makes him feel better about himself. Gets the kings for the second time. Raises to 40. Optimize is going to call with Queen Jack suited. 2 Broadway cards on the button. So we'll be closing the action. From here forward, Bertram's thinking about calling with 10-7 suited. Decides not to. Folds around, so it'll be Doug versus Optimize. And once again, Doug hits his king. This time with a boat. He's going to check it very cleverly, see if he can induce a bet. Probably not. And once again, a blank card for Doug. Can't get any action on this hand. You're going to make a min bet and get folded too. So he's going to win the minimum. No, Optimize decides to call. Luckily, doesn't hit a card. All right, I'm going to repeat myself. Doug's going to make a minimum bet, and he's going to get folded too. Yeah, he's catching heat, but the fire ain't staying. It's a match. It gets hot, but it's too small. It's not going to get paid. He's lucky to have made $25 post-flop after this. Can't imagine Optimize calling this. Stares Doug down as he starts to fold. This time he gets Kevin to look at his hand, and they enjoy their moment. You know, poker romance, it's not given enough credit.
They're just lobbing it up now, dude.
They're just throwing the shit up.
Like that before lunch. Like 2 steps and chunk.
Walking fish. Oh. You're the only one that's there on the The guy shows. Yeah.
Yeah, I am a little surprised too. All I can say is that, you know, there's nothing wrong with floating there. If you're thinking about making a move into that, it's just we could see the cards. So it depends on what Optimize was putting Doug on and knowing Doug. To me, there's nothing more suspicious than Doug min betting. King Jack versus King 6 here. Dry board. Kind of been, I wonder how many times I've said dry board tonight. Still arid. Although we have, no, we don't even have that. Thought we had clubs for a second. So, everybody whiffs. Optimize has got a lock on this $137.
What's that?
So Jay Wynn hits his jack. 2 spades for JR. Not much for Doug. Now the board pairs. Jack's up for Jay Wynn. Checked around after the flop. Doug's going to take a little stab at it here, maybe. No, everybody checks again. Maybe we're having a little bit of a wind down in energy. Spades don't come for JR. G-Win's going to be good.
You don't think I will? He's saying no without saying no.
Not going to get a call here from Doug.
Which he doesn't have. I talked about James.
To be fair, Kevin, to be fair, it's like, I think maybe like 1% of people or like 2% of people would have that sort of like.
Hand 100. We're going to get to 102 hands tonight. My producer Katie is giving me the last hand is 102. It'll be a bomb pot. So we're going to play this hand and another hand hold'em, and then wind up with a bomb pot. We really appreciate you coming out tonight. Gosh, it makes it sound like I'm an MC at a talent show. Once again, this is TCH 25 live stream from Austin, Texas. Beautiful Austin, Texas. Home of the Austin FC Football Club. And the Texas Longhorns, of which I am one. Optimized with ace-8. Terry with 9-8. You're going to play this head-to-head. Mostly head-to-head matchups tonight.
50 pounds.
Gut shot for the 9-8 and the 8. Ace-8. Otherwise, not much else. Optimize ahead here. I'm sorry, the 9. Terry's ahead. Duh. 2 clubs on the board. Bottom pair for Terry. Might make a little bit of a feeler bet, but he decides against it. Check, check. And the 10. The straight comes in for both of them to the 8. So they got the dummy into the straights, but they're not going to bet because of the clubs, and they're going to chop this sucker up.
The thing is, the more money that's at the stake, the higher likelihood of him completing it.
So they're each going to get $36.50.
Like, if it was just like, oh, okay, let's do it like.
Thank you, Karen.
Let's say he's at 5% baseline. At 10,000, the exact same challenge, he's just gonna have more mentality, more commitment to do it. You know what I'm saying? So like.
Last hold'em
100,000,
hand of the night.
It goes from being like, okay, no. If it's just how many people have that commitment to do it straight up with no bet, I think you're right. It's probably like between like 1 and 5. But if it's like, oh, it's 100,000, I think that goes up to like 20. You know, at least 20 and 100 to do that for 100 grand.
It's still a great bet. It's 20%.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's even odds, right? So you just need 50,
At even odds, yeah. If it was 20, I'm saying hypothetically too. So it's like I don't know if the base is 5 or not.
Did already lose once at 1K.
Yeah, but at 1K, that's my whole argument.
Suited ace-5 for optimize.
30.
Bertram's got suited broadways. King, queen of clubs. We've seen that a lot tonight, too.
Especially for someone else's money. Yeah, well, that's
King, queen, and king, queen suited has been right up there with 9s for frequency.
Kevin, are you willing to put some money up against me?
No, I can bet some against Blake. I mean,
Yeah. That's what he means. Yeah, you're betting against me.
if you're willing. I don't know if you want multiple bets going on. Well, I want more after.
Looks like ace-5, king, queen, and Terry playing 4 deuce. A lot of his range so far, and the king does hit. So Bertram jumps out in lead. Thank you, Karen. I will see you at the next tournament. I don't miss many of them. It's the only bad thing about doing the Monday night live stream. I miss the free roll.
Like, get in the dungeon. You can't eat nothing. That's what I would do.
I'm fucking watching you.
I'm putting up 100K. You're in like,
Diamond on the turn is going to keep optimized interested,
I pay for everything.
although he's behind. Picked up a little bit more equity, having the nut diamond draw.
We're going to see if we can get your stomach stable. For like 10K, bro. I mean,
He's going to actually bet it out $175 into a $240 pot. I think it's 175. Yep, 175. This is going to give Bertram pause, but I think he'll make the call. Probably even puts him on the diamond draw. And no joy, he's going to get another king. I don't think Optimize will shoot at it again. If he does, he's going to get an all-in with only 547 behind from Bertram. Don't actually think he has that much behind. Looks like less for me. I don't know. I can't see the chips he's playing with, but looks like he's got about 200. And there is no way in bloody you-know-what that he doesn't go. Oh, yeah, he does have a couple of black chips, 3 black chips in his hand, so he's going to put it all in. And insta-fold optimizes like, yep. And he doesn't show him the king. So nice little pickup there at the end for Bertram, which puts him in the green for $14. Merry Christmas.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
He's been fighting back from that early hand all in that he lost, and now he's all the way back. I tell you what, sometimes, folks, that's better than going home with winnings is when you've dug yourself a good hole and you dig yourself all the way out. Feels like a bigger win. So this is our bomb pot, our last hand of the night. I think I've said this before, but thank you again. Everybody in for $10. See if we can have a multiplayer bomb pot. Seems like we've had nothing but 2 and 3 player bomb pots. I want to see a big one. Straight E board on the top, not much on the bottom. No straights, really draws other than the wheel. Well, I guess 6-7 is in play. 6-7 is a good hand on this. 6-7 of spades is a nice hand to have here. Not much else. Straight E boards are always scary for me. Kings for Terry that doesn't connect. Ace Queen for Jay Wynn. I'm seeing very little from everybody else. Queens for Doug. Bet 90 by Bertram. Yes, does call. Oh, he's got 8-6, which, okay. Oh, holy cow. What am I looking at? 8-6, 8-6, 8-6. Yes, Optimize and Bertram all flop the nuts. Does anybody, yes, 8-6 of spades is drawing to the straight flush for yes. Ace on the top is a useless card. The bottom right now is Jay Wynn with ace-9, top 2. So we've got nuts by 3 players on the top with the ace not even being a factor. And we've got top 2 on the bottom for Jay Wynn. Nobody else has got an ace. There's no 6-7, so there is no nut straight on the bottom. Wow, this is making my brain bleed, folks. Jay Wynn has no idea how good he is right now. If we get a dry card at the end, Ace is going to take the next 23 minutes to sort it out. And a 450 bet by Bertram is going to get called all in by Optimize for 899. Folks, this is so gross. All this dead money for Jay Wynn. Oh, is he call? Oh, is he going to? He's like, what the heck? They've all got to have 8. Well, we know this. They've all got to have 8-6. He's like, what? I mean, he's facing 6-7. So he folds. Oh, my gosh. So now who's ahead on the top? Ace-9 is not there anymore. I mean, sorry, on the bottom. It looks like Bertram's got an 8-5 to be ahead. And he's going to get, well, whatever 1/6 plus a half is. Yeah, sorry, my math is not that good. I've got my shoes on, so I can't do this math. So he's going to get half plus 1/6, and the others are going to get 6. Man. Well, we'll see what this turn card is and see if it changes thing. I mean, yes, does have a draw to King 8. Since the ace is off the board, that could nut the bottom. Nothing much else. Optimize has got an 8. Ace doesn't make any difference at all. There's no second pair. I mean, Optimize has 8-3 now, but he's losing to 8-5. Bertram is going to take half plus a 6th. Oh my gosh. For a $3,400 pot. And pot's been adjusted to 3,000. Wow. Wow. 8-6, 8-6, 8-6.
I got 10.
That's insane. So this folks, these are really, really high level players that kind of just made the classic mistake. I mean, I jamming, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Optimized that jammed or potted the 8-6. They're figuring out now that he's good on the bottom with 8-5. Bertram went from being down all night to getting just to level to now taking, I don't know what percentage is 1/6. So that's, well, I guess it has to be 67%. He took 67% of $33,000. My goodness. So he's made $2,250. Well, folks, that just blew up my brain. That just blew up my brain. 3 nut straights. The aces never came into play because nobody had a pair or a set. Jay Wynn would have won the bottom, which he's got to be killing himself for with an aces up. Okay, well, folks, as Aces sorts out this mess, we're not going to get to see the final numbers, but Bertram's night got much better in 2 hands. Well, this has been Uncle T, TCH, Austin, 2-5 live stream. You joined us from Dallas, Eric. Thank you. You showed up late, but got to see a nut job of a bomb pot. Jeez Louise. All right. I'm going to go lay down. This is Uncle T signing off. Join us next time. We will be on next Monday. Dante and probably my buddy Kyle will be on.